I thought he said 5.
I thought you said 5 too. I was like, no, you're 7, man.
5, Austin.
See you later.
Nah, dude. See, this is why we gotta get on the Zoom shit, right? Because we could have everybody in little boxes right now. And then whenever Coda moves somebody, it just stays in that box. Is it too late for that, Doc? Because if we could get Trippy up in this motherfucker, that'd be the shit. Well, let's start that Instagram call it.
It's too late.
You should have seen how salty I was. I got the call. Then I answered, then Bono was there, and I felt very at ease. Bam was there. And I think Smitty kept answering calls because his beard looked so good today.
That's multiple times he did.
Like, why would you answer it multiple times?
How good his beard looked.
It was you and Smitty the first time?
Yeah.
And with me, and I couldn't see y'all?
Well, then later, then you picked like a whole nother call. Someone else called.
Like, what were y'all
I
talking
inadvertently
about?
called. I didn't know I called until
You were the
I
one that started
Alright,
was
it.
on the screen, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I didn't mean to do that.
Dude, I told everybody I was going to handle you when I saw you for this Instagram fucking bullshit, dude. That's what I said. I said on our shit, I said, bro, I said, Jason started this shit. I said, I fucking imagine. And I was like, he doesn't have his phone on him. It's probably Johnny.
Well, it was
Like, Johnny just took his phone.
Alright,
But I didn't know
tonight we're hosting a town hall leading into season 6 of Last Man Standing. This is gonna start May 12th, the season 6. Not this. This starts right now.
Yeah.
But May 12th is when the season 6 Last Man Standing starts. We're gonna be just discussing a variety of things about the show, and all these people down here are gonna have an opportunity to say how they feel about different parts of the show, different parts of the past seasons. While we're discussing this, we're not deciding anything during this. No decisions about the new season are going to be made on this show.
We're deciding some shit.
And it does feel that way, really, doesn't it? And there's going to be no heavy debating, all right? Bono, you can't yell at Jason on here. It's not that kind of situation here, all right?
Yes,
you can't.
Freedom of speech, baby.
Don't listen to
Good
Squirrel.
try.
Yeah,
I'll yell with
it was a good effort.
eyes.
All right, I have these microphones. I'm gonna bring up topics. I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. I'm gonna take this microphone. I'm gonna pass it down. This microphone has a little microphone on the top of it. There's these little things. You gotta talk into it. You can't put it in your mouth. You can't yell into it. You're just talking so everyone can hear you, and hold it like a reasonable 2 to 5 inches from your mouth. Recognized.
I already have a mic, but thank you.
Oh, take that mic away from me.
Why are those tweezers so big?
Okay, those are jacks, ma'am.
Nah, those are tweezers.
Last man standing.
All right, first debate: are they jacks or tweezers? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, for real.
Stupid ass Billy, bro. Dumb ass Billy.
Good job, Joe. Thanks, man.
All
Alright. Well, I guess before I get started on this, do you guys have any questions for me as a collective or as an individual?
I don't know, we didn't get together.
Here, hold on.
Y'all share.
We didn't get together as a collective. We're only here as
So no
individuals.
Julie, do you
So,
have any questions?
no.
It seems Josiah J-Box has a question.
Recognize.
What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? Do you already have predetermined topics for us to talk about, or are we gonna? Oh, fantastic!
iPad.
Great.
Do you have any?
Now the people know.
You need this mic to speak. No.
Understood.
All right, Kurt, continue. Kurt
Hi,
is our
guys.
producer, if you didn't know.
This last season, we gave away a bunch of prizes in a variety of different ways. We had new highs on the show. We had new types of content. We had new all sorts of stuff. What do you guys think of this season?
Personally,
You have a microphone.
I have one, remember?
Still gotta be recognized, man.
Recognized. Tana.
Personally, I think that this is the best season of Last Man Standing that we've had coordination-wise. I think that we still have a lot of room to grow as far as being consistent and knowing what we completely want out of Last Man Standing. And like we struggle with communication a little bit, but I think that's just because we're still figuring it out. We're still a small team. But otherwise, I think we did really good this season.
So
Can you pass that down to Bono or Jason down here? I'm very interested in what these two fellows have to say down there.
Well, like, I got a lot to say, but I don't know how to not say it all at once. So let's save it, because we're gonna. I'm a jar. We're gonna pop. Let's not pop it open yet. Let's hear what these guys got to say while we're easing into things.
I don't got much to say because it's my first season. I had a lot of fun losing.
So I would say
Jason.
my biggest problem with the season was overall consistency. Like, it's like we did our best at consistency, but nothing, like, our competitors kept changing, our judges kept changing. I wouldn't say the rules kept changing. I think our overall, like, our point system has stayed similar for the last couple seasons, but I think that's what I saw that was lacking in this last season, was an overall consistency in the way and who was judging the people and who was playing.
I can agree with that. I think that. Sorry. I think that it definitely is hard because this is from a producing standpoint and a competing standpoint. Getting the same people every week is a very hard commitment, you know. So like the consistency there, it's not. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bono.
Recognized.
I don't know how I'm gonna say it all, man. But like I agree with everything you said. Also, if it wasn't clear, I had an amazing time on Glass Man Standing. And it was lit, fam, in person and on camera. But aside from the point, I think like Glass Man Standing, as far as getting people on here to like be here and be consistent, I think that you're right, because like a lot of glass blowers have like jobs and full time gigs and stuff. We be busy with the hustle, but at the same time, I think the weight kind of falls on the show. We gotta I say we as Glass Man Standing, y'all gotta we gotta do the team effort to recognize the problems, which is what this meeting's for, and then figure out how as a team we can fix those and make it better with the viewer in mind. With the viewer in mind on how this whole shit goes, because you guys have come so far on how this shit was, and now it's getting really crisp. But can you make it buttery crisp? Can we make it clean? Because it's like sports vibes, right? But everyone knows not a lot of people want to watch golf all day. We're not golf. Let's not feel like golf. Let's figure out whatever we got to do, the little things to step in and change that. And then with that, as that increases, the value of being on the show will affect the competitors. I think the show is great, and it should reach a level of greatness that people kick themselves for not fucking showing up. Because being asked to come on Glass Man Standing, that's tight. Let's make it happen. And then if you can't reasonable, say you're an out-of-state person, out of whatever, and you're coming in, then maybe we get some kind of point system going for that to accommodate. Or maybe they come in on special rounds that are like, I don't know, that y'all's
like an
creative
exhibition
thinking.
style match.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. That's just some of what
When
I had to throw in there.
You look like you're itching to ask a question.
Yeah.
Well, I
I'm
want to
done.
know what, like, I guess I'm curious, is like, it sounds argumentative, but I want to know what, like, I got you on the the crispness.
Yeah.
What is that? Like, what do you, like, what are those things that you're identifying?
Well, I'm saying it would be a whole thing to like really go in and identify it. But what I'm, as a general speaking thing, whenever people are watching Glass Man Standing, the show needs to like make sure we're looking at how we get those people to keep watching, how to stay past the person they clicked on this for, and how to like, they want to see what happens, not just how the round ends, but how the show goes and anything that happens in between. I think that some media stuff could be mixed in with that.
What do you recommend we do for media and stuff?
Okay, so I see y'all are pressing on that. I only have one idea off the top of my head, but my one idea is not my point. Okay, the whole thing I just said is my point. But for one example, whenever we come in from commercial breaks, we should have a script or something, a list of things that we cover to let new people know, hey, welcome to Glass Man Standing. This is who's competing. This is what's happening. Here's who's in order. Let's go. And then, like, kind of have people understand. Because right now it's kind of like, welcome back to Glass Man Standing. We have so-and-so and so-and-so competing. Here we go. But the little more intro, a little more hooks, something to remind, like we might catch ourselves repeating a little bit throughout the show, but the show's 4 hours long. I think the audience needs some repetitiveness.
Yeah, I know we've talked about videos for this upcoming season, and one of the big things that we're planning on doing is making videos that will keep like the viewers updated on what's going on week by week.
I was gonna ask, are you talking about live stream?
I'm talking about
YouTube,
live
or
stream.
Instagram?
Yeah, what you
So-
said just now sounds great, but it sounds like that would touch people that's already in your feed.
It would be an Instagram story thing, and then we'd also have videos that would be pinned on the YouTube page, and that would play during the videos and the
Oh,
stream.
Josh.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of traffic of people coming through the show that's
you don't
clicking
gotta-
on it and then just not
You gotta do all that.
following your YouTube channel or following your Instagrams or stuff like that. Like they just come through.
Following the plot line of what's going on the show, or like following as in subscribing, following.
One, the other, both, either or. We want them to get it all. So we should like my main point of what I have like documented in this kind of just become adjacent to what they were talking about, but is that like we want like the viewers who come into the show to not be confused, to know what's going on, want to stay and keep getting hooked.
Where do
to
you think the
watch.
confusion lies?
I don't know.
No,
That's a whole
I
nother side of a
understand.
topic. All I know is I had a bunch of people message me confused. So
And I think that
take this from me. I'm tired of. I'm shy.
You're doing great. So I think that essentially what I think, not to answer for Bono, is we have a 4-minute break, right? If 30 seconds leading back into Tana was even just on the screen, and now our next match, Bono V, right? And we've been working diligently hard.
I have the mic. Well, no, you could have finished your thought if you want, though.
Oh, we've been working diligently to make everything a little bit more timely, right? And I think in a way, this is so that people could say I'm on at 8:15, and then if everybody could coordinate that promotion throughout the week, individual people could see how their pull, like what their pull brings and what their pull affects. You know what I mean? So I totally see that, and I'm with you automatically, is because what I've been seeing is the way YouTube, at least from the guy watching the numbers, is that YouTube is feeding us an extra 10 followers about every 30 seconds. So we're at 20 followers, and then YouTube just dumps new people on us. And that's exactly what you're saying, is you get dumped on this product, but you're watching glass blowing, but you don't really know what the glass blowing is. This is one of the things that we've been talking about a lot lately, is the struggle of the live stream, because the live stream makes things just a little bit harder. Tana, what do you think?
Okay. So I think that it kind of goes both ways, though. I think that there's a lot of ways that if we, and it's also something that we've talked about, but if we were also doing it almost in like a WWE style, where like there's like a promotion day where the competitors come in like a week before the season starts, and we get all of these videos. That way when you're coming in, it's also like more of a clear, like instead of y'all just walking in, it's like a little video plays of y'all's intros, and it's like Bono v Blue Jay, you know what I mean? And it's like kind of gives a little bit of context clues as well to it, but I think it's also finding out if like y'all would be willing to come in for something like that, you know?
Yeah, a little.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
To kind of piggyback off that a little bit, we can even do like.
wait, hang on, Trippy,
Wait,
give
no,
me
here.
Trippy. Oh, there you go. Tana's got you.
What did you say it again, Trippy?
I said even to like kind of piggyback off that, you can do like the UFC does and put our stats for the seasons, wins versus losses, shit like
Okay.
that. in that video.
So what Trippy said was that it could be like when these people come in, when the competitors come in, they have their stats and everything up on the screen as well. So it could be like Nostalgia and Indo have gone up against each other this many times this season. This person has this many wins and losses. That way you know that it's kind of like a season that is also going on. Because I think that's like kind of what Bono was also saying, not to speak for you, but like with the golf thing, like the 20-minute rounds for 4 hours can be really interesting, but I think we could make it like more interesting and more TV style, and it could be less stressful on everybody day of. Like competitors wouldn't feel as much pressure because they already know that they kind of have like their intros. Like it's like we could have everyone just start in the booth, like there's no calling people in, and then it's like everyone already has their tools and they're set up, and that all plays while everybody's coming in. It's something that I thought of.
From a viewer's point, because I was before I got here to Austin, I checked out the show. I didn't like that. Like I didn't know who any of these people were, and I had no way to find out who they were. If I go to the info or the more or whatever it is, you know, it didn't seem like there was much. You know what I mean? And like you want to get glassblowers to stay, pump their ego. Hey, we're gonna give you FaceTime. We're gonna put you out in front of our followers. You know what I'm saying? Bring your followers. You know what I mean? But like, you know, I mean, obviously for the passion of it, you should just show up and blow glass and do the thing. But like, that's not really how it works all the time. You know? But like somebody out like a really heady guy on the fence, Smitty or Nostalgia or Indo or any of those guys. You know, it hasn't. I don't think it's been pitched to him like, hey, we got you on slot fucking 3 in between your mat, whatever, and then there's a bio or something, or like the intros, you know, you put up the graphics, versus, bah! You know, and then into the thing, you know, that's for the viewers. But to get the glassblowers to stay, you gotta give them something, and the only thing really you can give them is the opportunity for exposure.
Yeah, I think
you give them exposure, and that's all we want. You know, we want to be known. You know, we want to be seen. So
that's definitely, I think, what we tried with like sharing all the videos and pictures. And I have noticed like people using them. Like I think that that's like a good way. But I also think maybe like it would be nice if we found out almost like the kind of content that they would like too. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
it's definitely personal. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's gonna have a different intro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people are gonna want to lean more into a storyline than others. You know what I mean? Like I'm personally one that likes storylines. You know, let's go. You know.
Yeah.
But that's, I don't know. Might not be somebody else.
I'm gonna let J-Box here finish this little topic, but we're gonna come back to storyline. Don't you worry, Jay.
Oh my God, there's more topics.
yeah.
I more so had a question.
Oh,
y'all
bro,
keep
this
that
is
stuff.
one of 11.
Oh my God.
We did good. We have a
That
story
was
now.
good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
why?
Rob Boy, go
Rob
get in
Boy
here.
and Jog,
Jordan,
join
get in
us.
here. And if y'all want dabs,
Just
hey,
sit.
yeah, no matter what. You don't even have a microphone in your hand over there. We're not miking you up. We
We
got
are not
puff codes,
miking
we
you
got bongs. So people sitting here going, dab, you want a bong rip? Dab? You tried the proxy core yet?
Yes.
But have
Billy
you tried
didn't-
the proxy core out of Squirt Pooh's
Hang
new
on, wait.
core-based cup?
Really, guys?
He's stalling.
No,
it's okay.
no. Let us know, Joe. J-Box, have your final
I'll wait
piece.
till Kurt gets back.
Okay.
Hey, Angel, if you're watching this on the other side of that window, I need some Q-tips, man, real bad.
Angel.
Oh, that's so Billy. You know, in some parts of the world, they call cleaning your...
Kurt's got a
Did
lot to
J-Box
say
have
right
his
now.
words?
All of a sudden, Kurt's got a lot to say. So if it comes
Talk more in the
down to promotion, I guess, of glassblowers leading up to the show, I feel like that's something that we can address more and communicate to you guys more. And I feel like we have been sending you guys videos, or at least that's the plan from what I've heard. There are videos of you guys going up on the Instagram and on YouTube almost every single day. Yeah, every single day. And all of your information is included. If we're talking about promotion during the show, I can agree 100%. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I keep the stats and why I've been keeping stats since season 1. Like, it's one of my favorite things. I think we need to promote what you guys have been doing on this show. That's why I always introduce Fargo and Indo as Glassman Standing Champions to give them the highest praise whenever they sit down in the booth. I think that's more of a production thing that we need to sit down and talk about. I know, like, we do have issues communicating, going back to that, just getting everything set up. I know there have been times where Mr. 7 isn't even sure, like, who's going up there. Not to throw him under the bus or, like, throw Kurt under the bus or whoever's supposed to communicate that, but sometimes we're not even aware of, like, who's going up next. And so getting everybody's stats and then updating everybody's stats every week. There's issues going with that. That's just because we're a smaller crew right now. Putting everything on one person, if that's something that Coda has to do, Coda's editing every single video that we ever record. Like, that's a lot to put on him. If it's Kurt coming up with the graphic, Kurt's running the entire business. Like, it's a lot to come up with that and to update that frequently. But I do agree. I think we can incorporate it little by little, and it's something that we'll get to. Sorry, Tanner.
So just kind of to piggyback off what you said, I think.
I know. I got something to say too.
Okay.
That's poor Kurt's like, we got 10 more things.
No, you can start. I might cut you off.
Okay. I just think like it could use work from all of us.
So
like
I'm
sometimes it's a
gonna
little.
go ahead. This is a production meeting that we'll have, but a lot of that went into another thing that we'll, as a group, all go into.
Well, but I think this is like me towards the competitors too. You know what I mean? Just like kind of with what Joe said is like not knowing what time y'all go on is like we can do that, but then there also needs to be a commitment to that time. You know what I mean? Like it couldn't be like, oh, I'm in the back like doing open torch. Like it would be like you guys have to be up there ready. You know?
Well, we're encouraging it.
Oh yes.
Come be a part of the circle. It's not a town hall if you're in your own hallway.
You were on the last episode.
No, there's no tardiness here. We're the glass blowers.
Can I just throw like a cherry on top of
Will you grab the thing from Dylan?
Okay, so while we're on the topic, I just gotta say, like, we're talking, I said that it's kind of like golf sports mode, right? But we have a huge aspect of reality TV that I don't know if you guys meant to hit that shit. It's ready to hit.
We're gonna hit this. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut it, Kurt.
Okay, so the viewers, rather if y'all intended it or not, for sure the viewers are under the immediate interpretation of how much reality TV is this. That's a fact. I think that y'all should lean into it to keep it from being just golf.
Would y'all be willing?
That being said, you need to earn the viewers' trust and keep with it. We need to be reliable on giving them who is, when we say someone's versus who, we need to let that happen. Everything we say kind of need to happen. We need to have the viewers' trust. Otherwise, they're going to turn on Billy and think that it's all reality garbage, snicky, Jersey Shore bullshit. But I don't think it'll go that route. I think we're too chill. That's all I had to say.
Oh, for sure.
Or you have to take that one?
1,000%.
All right, guys. Format and tournament structure. I have 3 questions. Sounds like y'all are going to change topic a lot, but what did you guys think about the double elimination format? Did you feel like it was fair? Did you feel like it was dragged out? Or did you think that was a cool way to do a tournament? I'm going to go ahead and open it up with someone who hasn't spoken at all. Blue Jay, you can pass that microphone right to Joy of Glass. Thank you for joining us tonight, Joy of Glass.
Thank you, Joy of Glass.
Oh, what a moment to come into, because that's literally the one thing that I wanted to bring up. The double elimination, it was a cool idea if it was like when we only had 6 people competing in general, but it could have been the underdog story of the year with people who had like the lowest points having to fight all the way through to the top, and then you didn't have any confusion of like, oh, are they still in? Are they out? And like the finale, I loved watching it, but I was like, oh my god, Sriracha won. Wait, oh my god, Lot Boy won. Like, my parents watch this. It makes it a lot simpler for them when it's just like, all right, clear cut rules. That's it.
Like almost trying to simplify it.
Yeah.
Like it was too
Yeah.
everywhere in the branches.
Okay.
You were
Well,
gonna say
no. I think you kind of filled it in pretty good. Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything to say?
I personally like
We got a whole group.
And then
the
fast
double
money.
elimination tournament. I think I like that. But before the tournament, the elimination round for the season, I feel like the matches there could have been put together a lot better to facilitate more drama. You know what I'm saying? Because like I didn't have any wins. You know what I mean? Like so like, you know, it's like you know, there's a whole field out there, you know. But then I don't get a chance, you know what I'm saying? Because like you're putting me up against like somebody like it could have been like me and Joy Glass or something like that, like at the bottom fighting each other to get to that next spot, you know. But we didn't have that opportunity, you know what I mean? We were just like kind of cut out, you know. But I still liked it, so I mean it really didn't matter to me. But I feel like I would have enjoyed that day personally if I could have like had a chance to fight to get into the next round, you know, even with all losses.
Like
you know?
if you could have had like
Billy's
an all
trying to
or
take my
nothing.
microphone, so I can get you to pass that one down to him.
So I like I like what you brought up a lot. And overall, my problem both ways as a competitor is towards the end, right? I'm supposed to get, if I had a gauntlet all season, like this is just how scheduling works. All right, so I start the season with Indo, week 1. Week 2, Marina. Week 3, Ryan. Bruh, can I please get somebody that doesn't have the same experience? Let me go up against a rookie. You know what I mean? So even though as the season's coming down to it, like the idea that we're kind of round robining through each other through the season is kind of what I would hope to see. So because then you don't know, like you're not matched up based on what's happening. The matchups are already kind of in place. Like if I've played you, I'm not playing you again. If I'm playing the next person, I'm not playing the next person again. So, and I like that. I think sorry, and I'll pass this on in 1 second. Oh, my beat, Dylan, is on the other one, the last week of the season was my favorite season. So that, like, to respond, right, is like, I feel you, is that if we could just go into week 8 and then we rank everybody 1 through 12, you go 12 versus 1, right? You do it just like a traditional seeding. That's okay, except we're missing out on a whole nother, like we're missing out on that week of drama. It's like the idea, man, how much stress and tension I felt because I knew where Bono was and I knew everybody's ranking and I knew what it was going to take for me to get bounced, and all these different scenarios had rattled around in my head. And then I watched them all play out, and it played out in this crazy way where a non-winner won the MVP. I was like, holy shit, I just got like, but for me, that's where the action and excitement of the episode was in, which is why, sorry, I know I just hit 2 topics at once. Dylan, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
He's got one.
No, I was just passing.
Just to clarify for the
He's just getting out of his
you want
head.
like predetermined matchups like announced before the season?
Hey, you gotta.
Oh no, I'm just asking for Billy. For the notes. You don't gotta say no.
The question for the stream that was just asked was, do I want predetermined matches? And I don't think if we can't, like, I guess that's my biggest issue on this, is if I can predetermine all the matches of all season.
Throughout the whole season.
Yes,
Like,
I
you
would
like-
love to. Even the times, right? It's like we could say, like, imagine Billy and Marina all season long talking shit about our matchup that's coming on October 12th
Yeah.
at 7:45 p.m. This is for everything. This dude fucking hates me. I hate him, and it's fucking. We're going at it. The
And
Battle of the Aries
that's where we
for
can make
life.
cool
You know what I
promos
mean?
and shit, too.
Anyway, so I like the idea of that more and more as we can get more and more people to stick. Sorry.
So I like the format of the tournament and everything, right? Only thing I'd say is about the final, right?
A little louder.
You had Sriracha Cat and Lotboy go up against each other 3 times, 3 different rounds in one night, right? Y'all ever consider doing a different topic if something like that happens, where you have the same people go up against each other in the same night?
I think that if we were to run a double elimination style tournament again, it wouldn't be thematic. It would be like envelopes or some other way of randomly
Maybe the
picking a
wheel
topic
spin.
Random.
that would allow for each turn or each round to have a different topic, so you don't end up with like where Keller had to make onomatopoeia 3 times.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sucks.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Like it was just a thing that on our end was like total lack of. Like it was like I think we really realized that like 3 weeks before the tournament. We're like, oh my god, this is gonna be like really rough for some
that like that could happen. Yeah.
but we didn't want to change up the topics on that. But in the future, that like if we did a tournament like that again, we would switch up how that happened for sure.
Cool.
Does anyone else have any comments, questions? Trippy, I heard something from you, I think.
Just agreeing, I honestly really like the idea of switching up the topics of the tournament. As a viewer of last season, I really liked how the tournament played out. It gave like a lot of chances for like that underdog story. Because like if Ty would have won coming back from losing his first round, I think that would have been a fucking awesome story.
Truth.
going to go and do the same topic like 3 or 4 times in the same night.
Absolutely.
Extra truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I say that, like,
Bono recognized.
thank you. Whenever the format, I was informed that the format for Glass Man Standing had changed, like the way the point system was and stuff. I was like, for the first 4 episodes, I genuinely at home in my head was like, why do they even call it Glass Man Standing? It's not, it doesn't seem relevant now. But let me tell you, by episode 6, I fucking respect the shit out of that name. And also, like, I was like, it's a good name, they shouldn't change it, but if you're gonna change the rules and change all this stuff about the show, like, I guess that's what comes with the show growing. But I just wanted to say that it wasn't until late in the game that I was like, oh yeah, I fucking get why they call it Glass Man Standing, even though we're not making 6 pieces in a night, because I'm fucking on, like, week 8 or some shit, and this is my life. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you want it?
So Billy really likes the idea of predetermined matchups. What do you guys think? Like, what if we had a Kill Tony style matchup? So we knew who all was gonna be here. At the beginning of a round, we pulled 2 names, and those were the matchups. If you competed against someone previously, who gives a fuck? It's random. Josiah, recognized?
I think that just goes against what Billy was saying completely
Fully,
about like what.
100%.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm just curious what people think about it though. Like I really like the idea of Billy being able to advertise that he's gonna get his ass kicked by Marina. That's cool for him. I think that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like the idea from a show story standpoint that like Joya Glass is standing up front waiting to see if his name gets drawn, and he's like kind of stressed about it, and then he has to go up against Billy, and he was really hoping he didn't have to go up against Billy because the last 3 weeks somehow he had to go up against Billy. I think, yeah.
I'm
Wait,
not-
I cut Joe off as part of my explanation.
I'm not the biggest fan of that, just because I think that I like Billy's more, because I think overall that gives everybody way more consistency. Like, the competitors get to know when they're going on. Same thing, like, I feel like that's where we were kind of struggling this season, and like why some matches got mixed up. Obviously there were some injuries, which like that we just have to account for, but like yeah, just like things getting mixed up, and then people not knowing if they're going or not, and then us not being able to find them to get to go in time. I think it would like really eliminate like all of those problems if we just had them lined up, and it would allow for everybody, like the competitors and us, to get more into like the story.
I have an idea.
What's your idea, Bono?
I'm just gonna spitball this, okay? But like, I haven't thought this through, but just go with the more structured time, lay down the law, give motivation to glassblowers to show up on time. Like maybe if you, like Billy, y'all give us like the times and dates, right? And all the glassblowers who like didn't miss that shit at all, you got your practice material paid for. Boom, $100. Now you got, just something like that. That might help. And then
almost like a guaranteed reward, even
like,
if you don't win.
Yeah, like
just
incentive to show up and be there and contribute. And separate idea, maybe tied in. I don't know how much Billy wants to perform or not, but like you could have a glass blower, and I think it should be Billy off the top of my head, set aside, who's like not competing. But when someone doesn't show up, it's like, damn, now you got to go against the fucking boss. And then he comes
like he's
in.
the final boss type.
Yeah, yeah, and this has nothing to do with anything, but I have to say, because people have told me this, heard this from several people, the people have requested that we get a real buzzer. I like the but like,
Yes.
I don't think the audience likes it.
No, I also.
I don't like
Dog,
A new
I
timer.
would prefer not to get into the topic of the
good.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. It's like essentially like the driver that drives the car when there's not another driver, right? So really, I could end up going 4 times in a night as different people. Somebody could just give up on the season and I just become them. They would, like, their playoff hopes would ride on me getting into the playoffs. I could have to play a lot of characters, and I don't know what happened when it was Billy versus Billy, but I think that's a really good idea.
Billy subbing for Billy gets Billy to sub for Billy.
So in the event, thank you, Bono. I appreciate that. In the event that someone gets the flu or somehow for some reason for a I'm running late reason that seems like an emergency reason, they're not able to make it to their round. They're unable to compete for 1 week. Do you think that the person who's competing against them is shit out of luck up against Billy, or if I have the flu, I can be like, J-Box, will you step in? He's a member of the show, so maybe a bad example. J-Mass, will you step in and be my champion sub in order to allow, you're saying that it should be, like you should just have a dedicated person.
Yes, but earlier I had said, we want these bigger people coming in who don't have time to be here all the time, then maybe save them for that kind of thing. But I don't know how you get the logistics of it.
Like how gluten-free Willie came for 1 week. He would be like he could sub for somebody,
he could
but
be Billy's.
he maybe couldn't or he could be Billy's. Yeah.
He would replace Billy.
Yeah, but it wouldn't necessarily affect the season as much.
So then there would be a season-long, in theory, a season-long champion in this situation. J-Box, recognize?
So when looking for a replacement, would the competitors have to look for it themselves, or is that something that we would have to do? Because that's what
they
we've
would
been
look
doing.
for themselves.
And what if they're not able to find one in time?
Forfeit.
Too bad.
And you forfeit, but then
Yes.
then you have somebody who showed up to compete, drove all this way, ready to go, and then their person couldn't compete last day. They call out, and now they showed up for
Well,
nothing.
you got points.
You could make points, but I mean, I don't think points are worth the drive, especially if you're not if this person's not in contention
No,
or
you gotta
something.
blow-
Like they
you
just
come in,
want
you
to.
gotta blow back.
Then
You gotta
it
blow
would be
back.
Billy.
Earn the points.
You gotta blow back.
I think if a competitor can't make it, they get replaced by one of the staff, like Kurt's a great glass blower, somebody. And then if, let's say, one of the store members beat the other competitor, the points get decided by the people, like the fans. Like, should we give it to whoever the store was helping, or should we just let them?
Yeah. Like almost like a forfeit, but not quite.
Yeah, like the people who didn't come, they forfeited, but the people who did come and have to compete against the store,
They still get to compete.
Yeah.
And like if they win, they automatically
Yeah,
get
they
the points.
automatically get the points. You don't really even need the people's vote.
Yeah.
It's just now they have somebody to compete against, and
Yeah.
you guys are pretty dang good. So.
And touching on that staff thing you were saying, we had Paris compete 3 times this season, and she went 3-0. Like, she was only a couple points away just from doing replacement matches and stepping in, and she didn't lose a single time this season. So, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a nice thing to have people step in, but I am pretty interested in the finding your own replacement idea, and then kind of just, I don't know, letting Kurt know or something, and it being a surprise. That'd be cool. But I don't know how much randomness everybody feels like adding. I know 3 people have brought up consistency for next season.
You gotta have scheduled times. You gotta if you can let the people know when they gotta be here, then I'm sure more.
Like you would
they'll-
have to get your replacement to us like the day before or something, right?
Yeah, or at least let you know that you need a replacement. It can be
So
worked
the
on.
problem that I have with this as a competitor is so obvious. It's just like, oh man, I'm doing this okay. I'm going up against so and so. I'm gonna call in my homie. Like, if this starts becoming a $2,500, $5,000 for the winner, like, that's money. Like, you don't want to have rules that just say, Salt's my personal homie.
would be a
I'm gonna go home
one-time
and bring
thing,
in.
though.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring in this guy. You know what I mean? So as a competitor, I'm like, man, I think even Billy taking my place for everybody, like being the all-time quarterback, even that, nah. Like, if I'm competing and you don't show, give me my fucking points. Like, this is for money. This is for the playoffs. Like, I don't, like, as a person who really wants to win a thing, I don't want to give you some bullshit out. I don't care what happens to you. You know what I mean? And if I drive all the way from Houston or Dallas or whatever, and I get an auto dub, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? And I understand that's like maybe for this last season or whatever, the $1,000 prize might not be enough to say, let's take a little bit of joy out of this thing and let's take it a little bit more seriously. You know what I mean? But if you get like Like, it's not my fault you have a wedding to go to. I don't know what to do for you. You know what I mean? Like, this is your life. This is your choices. If you have shit on the line and it's worth it, you don't peel. You know what I mean? And like we said before, is the overall goal of production should be to make sure that people are really, really, really struggling to come up with something better to do with their Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, sorry.
I think that comes in with like both, like what Bono said of giving like an incentive, but then also like upping the ante in ways.
What do you guys think about, so let's say it's Billy versus his biggest off, Joy of Glass. And Joy of Glass has to go to his wedding, and so he can't make it to Tuesday. What if Billy gets the points for winning, and Billy either before, maybe during, but probably before.
Like
So at some point,
he
he gets to make a piece that can be judged on for MVP. He auto gets the points due to the forfeit, but he still has the opportunity to make a piece that can be
Trippy,
submitted
you wanna say something?
for MVP judging.
If you're matched up against Billy doesn't show, you still get to compete maybe against somebody in exhibition, so you still have a piece for MVP.
Exhibition.
Or how about this? Or solo. Like, is that you don't show up against me, you just put me in this room by myself. Like I should get the choice, really. It's like if a competitor doesn't show up against me, I could be in there by myself, because that's as somebody that's trying to get points, I already got my points, but now I'm trying to win MVP because I want a Puffco proxy core new. You know what I mean?
Well,
Sorry, Glass.
this is all hypothetical, but to me, when I was on my amazing honeymoon, I missed 2 weeks. So, but for me, I felt like, okay, maybe I can climb back up, get into this competition, and then if it was just single elimination and we did have everybody, that's where I was like, oh, maybe I'm still in this. You know, I'm placed 7th and 8th. You know, maybe I'll get into this. So that's where, even if you miss a week, you're still in the tournament. You still have your chance at the money, the thing that's really important.
I like what he said. I didn't like some things that you said. No, I'm just kidding. I like what he said, but I think it's important to put it into the people's court of, like, you set the time, and yeah, if it was his wedding, go to your girl. We won't judge you for it, literally, because you won't be here. Alright, here, take this.
That was the first giggle. Wait, because I have a question for Bono. Wait, so are you like agreeing with like it would be a forfeit and like the person would get to go in and play alone, or no?
I don't hate the alone idea. I'm still thinking it out. Let me tell you, the main thought that went through my head of all that was circling back to my main concern, which is that was kind of hard to follow along. Whatever we land on can't be that hard to follow along for the people at home watching. That was my main thing.
I feel like the forfeiting and getting the automatic points and then somehow them getting into like being able to compete in MVP is important.
Yeah.
Because like I think that if your competitor doesn't show, you're almost a little bit happy because you auto win. You know what I mean? Like obviously everybody loves blowing glass, but it like takes a little strain off of your back. But then the only I think thing that gets kind of taken away from you would be the chance to compete in the MVP and like get those points. So I don't know, and I feel like most of the competitors, obviously not always, but like they would probably know if the person isn't going to show. So like they usually show up pretty early, and I think could do it before. That way, because I think I agree that it would be pretty confusing for competitors to have one person. Like, you know what I mean?
And just while it's on my mind, what oh no, I lost it. See, that's why I said you should have taken this. But oh yeah, what y'all said about like finding someone and find your replacement? I've been trying to find people for y'all this whole time. Alright, Crit Storage ain't coming yet. He's busy. But you know, I got friends and none of them have come to fly on their own. So I don't like, if it was up to me and y'all were like, get your replacement, I'd be like, shit, dog. That's
Would you
like
rather just
that's like, do you got
lose?
friends or not? It's like all right, well I don't.
You would
so.
rather just forfeit?
I'm saying that could put me in a position where I would have to forfeit because I would have no
I
one that didn't
understand.
work here potentially
So maybe if that was the only
to step
option,
up.
would be,
Because
like,
all
more
my
equal.
glass blowing friends, they live under rocks. They hiding from the CIA. They are not coming up here on your cameras. They're blowing glass.
Before Billy answers this, we are 50 minutes in and we are only on topic 2. So after
Okay.
So after
Do you
Billy, if
just a
there's any
quick?
other- yeah.
Just a quick. Do you think that another competitor could fill in for you, in the situation where you could like recruit a fill-in, or let me ask one more: could it be the only fill? Like you can only grab out of the pool. Like it's not like we don't like. I got you, big time glass blower. We see you, but we're already in this, and if you're in this, we're gonna just highlight you more. We don't have room to be highlighting the outside because we're really only trying to highlight the inside. The converse to that, not to argue my own point, is the outsider is so strong. We're us. When you start bringing people from out to within, this is how we get so much stronger. Anyways, all right, Kurt.
All right, guys. Our next topic at 7:52 p.m. is judging. This season, we had a couple different ways of judging. We had 3 judges that went through the whole night. We had nights where we had 3 judges and one popped out and a new one popped in. We had nights where we had all glass blowers as judges. We had nights where we had some people who were, whether it was cannabis community members or just collectors or all sorts of different people who judged. Yeah, what do you guys think? And if there's anyone who wants to raise their hand, I know Lotboy, you haven't spoken at all. Marina, you haven't spoken. Keller, you just walked in. You haven't spoken. So if one of y'all would like to, no pressure. Feels
Billy
like
wants
feels like
to
high
talk.
school right now, but
I have an opinion on judging.
oh, Billy, you haven't spoke yet. What are your thoughts?
Anyways, I can't just be the star of the show. I'm also a competitor. So, anyways, I want consistency in judging.
Agreed.
Like I want to see
Agreed.
either the same 2 judges with a guest judge, or the same 3 judges all season long. I almost want to see not a 4th judge, and I don't know. Does anybody have an opinion on who should judge? Joy of Glass.
So, I think in the finals of one of my matches, we had 4 judges, and they ended up not knowing who to decide between me and I forget who it was against. But in the end, it came down to the people's vote, and I was like, "Oh, come on! Like, what if they had a crowd? What if they have like a following or something? I'm brand new." So I like when there's no way for there to be a tie, and then also
So 3 instead of the 4.
yeah,
Agreed.
I also kind of miss the flip cards, like at least give us a score or something, so that way they're not influenced by what other people are said. They already put down their score, and then they can talk about what they liked or disliked. Those are my thoughts.
So
Tana.
something that we talked about was
Do any
for
other
next
competitors
season.
have something to build on that? As opposed, like we have the like
Oh.
like more build on. Like we talked about that, but like
I like the idea.
So something we talked about for
Yay.
next season, and let me know what y'all think about this. Sorry, I already have the one. Is the judges staying consistent for the entire night, and them each having like cards that have different points. Like it would be like creativity, storyline, whatever, out of 10, and then they all separately write down their judging. And then the winner is decided by whoever has the most points, just out of everybody's. And then that's also how MVP would be decided. How do you guys like that?
I like it.
and then on top.
I honestly really like that idea.
Continue,
I
Bill.
don't think it necessarily matters necessarily who the judges are, as long as they're consistent through the night. And I like the idea of having like the
That's
creativity,
exactly what I landed on.
execution, and then like how it fits the theme, kind of, or whatever the judgment like structure is. I said, at that point, it doesn't matter who's judging.
Because it's consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with what he just said. That's something that I even wrote down. Is like I thought about it. Who would I prefer? I don't really care either way, as long as it's consistent and I know who's gonna judge me, unless you're specifically saying surprise judge. You know.
Do you would in it? So if we per se were able to get the same two judges, would y'all like to see a guest judge?
I'd be fine with that, like the same two and a guest judge every week. I wouldn't hate that.
I think a scorecard would make things a lot better.
Feel more equal, maybe.
Well, then like people could see at least where they were. You know what I mean? Like being such a completely subjective opinion from somebody. Now you have criteria that were actually put against. Versus like me, I just find out, oh, I lost. Okay. But why? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, they discuss it and stuff, but like, you got the categories, and I think the categories
Like,
pretty
was
much
it because my
cover the.
piece just wasn't up to par, or was it because I didn't fit the story?
They tell
Like,
you, after you're done, but like the point is like maybe I could take the scorecard with me and I can look at it until I'm
Yeah.
so jazzed up that I'm not ever gonna get a 2 again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or a fucking 1. Or,
Yeah.
Tyler, recognized.
To kind of build off that, like in this rubric of judging, something that I heard, not only my own opinion, but others kind of raising an eyebrow to, was say the theme is like space or whatever, right? This whole like kick on functionality has got to go. Like if the theme is space and someone makes a rocket ship, throwing a big like ugly ball of clear as a bail and being like, here you go, it's functional, like, I don't think that really counts for anything, and I think that killed a lot of people this season, even if they had the better piece.
I'm a little confused. You'll have to elaborate further for me.
Thank you. I was just gonna say something about judging and who should be judging, and I like when it's the dudes that are really good at blowing glass and are old and are wise, but they're like maybe not as good at like riffing with Joe and like being a podcast for the whole time that they don't have to be judging. Like they're like giving 1-word answers to him trying to like, get the thing going. So I feel like it could be cool as both, like that there are people who actually know about glass blowing that are judging the glass blowers like only, but then also that there's people that are willing to like make a show of themselves and not just talk about glass blowing, because I think maybe there's also some chastising about not talking about anything else, which I think is wrong. I think that it should be a podcast about all the people that are here, about, I don't know, like whatever that they're talking about or that's interesting, and that when it's like, oh no, like just talk about the glass. Oh, what's he doing? Blowing a bubble? Like, yeah, he's blowing a bubble. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea that like maybe like the first 10 minutes it would be like the competitors from the last round sit down and they like talk, and then that way it's like that could also like, although it would be hard for like the person that lost, I think it would still be beneficial, because that could be a good time where you guys could like also be promoting yourselves. Like that's when Joe can like, because like Joe will ask all of our judges and everything like, oh, where'd you start glass blowing, and he has all of these like interview questions, but when they're sitting there for the whole 4 hours, like there's only so much you can ask like that, and getting that from like the competitors I think would be like more valuable than like hearing it kind of over and over and only talking about the glass blowing too. And then it's like that could like be a place for like, instead of kind of holding any animosity, that could also be a place where like you could talk about it. Like if you are upset about the round, being like, yeah, I don't know if that was judged fairly, or like, you know what I mean, just like having like your moment to like say it too, I think could be cool.
Really?
One of the no, I lost.
Bono, the other B.
Can I just say what I like about that idea is that it would cut up your commercial time a bit. That's great. More film time.
Would you guys like, from the competitors that are here?
I mean, like that long period that people are waiting in between rounds watching the same ad over and over, which I personally love. But and it's great, and I don't think it's bad at all because people know it. But it could shave 10 minutes off of that to have the previous competitors sit down. You know, that gives you more torch exchange time or whatever. Wink.
So I remembered. I completely agree. Is that so? The question, I guess, the question I have is, we need the people that can't sit for 15 minutes to not sit for 15 minutes. Should the judge have to watch the round?
No.
I feel like a lot happens in the round that plays into the judging, and especially if you're a glassblower that knows about glassblowing, then you're watching not just the finished product maybe, but like how they conducted themselves or how they used their tools or how they acted when something went wrong. And I almost feel like the judging, or like their show too, like the Pink Pyramid, like how are we supposed to know about the Pink Pyramid if we're not watching their show?
What if, like, at the 10-minute mark, that, like, whenever I go in and I ask the questions, that's, like, where the judges would sit down and watch, like, the rest of the round? Do y'all feel like that's, like, too late into the round for them to, like, be watching? Jason?
If you had like a separate monitor at it, a little separate table, you know what I'm saying, that you could still be kind of part of it, like out front, like on that little island that you have the real nice pieces in. Maybe there's a little monitor there that they can still like look in and see what's going on. They can see everybody, but they got like a real good view of the glass being blown. You know what I mean? Or even they could be
like just a camera above that shows both of the
or, I mean,
torches constantly or something.
They should watch. They have to watch the glass blowing. Is what I'm saying. They don't have to necessarily be like at the rail, but they should watch. They should watch the match. To judge the match.
I think he's saying make it work. It's important that they watch the round. I would agree with that.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I just poked myself.
So, okay. So what about somebody who doesn't know about? All right. So I'm influencer centric, and if somebody has 1 million followers, I'll do anything for them. So do I want that as a judge, even if they don't know glass?
Like Eric Kahn, I was gonna try to be like, oh, Eric Kahn should be a judge because he's all famous and stuff, but he wouldn't know even how to judge. He would feel uncomfortable judging something that he didn't understand. Like I talked to him about it. Like just like if someone who doesn't smoke that much hash got asked to be a hash judge just because they smoke weed or because they're like in the scene or they have a business or they're really rich or whatever, it doesn't mean that they're like qualified to judge some grower who like spent their whole everything making the perfect trichome for someone to know the difference between. That I feel like it should be glass blowers.
Because when you watch like chef shows or something, like it's always like, this is fucking the top chef in New York, or like it's always like the people that know a lot. Sorry, Joy Glass.
I think people who don't know glass are kind of one of the perfect guest judges because they're the people also at home asking the questions. Like, and also, Kel Meltz is right. Like, it doesn't have to be functional. How many times do you go on vacation and do you buy some glass sculpture because it's cool, or you go to your family's house and you have like tchotchkes for days? You know, if somebody makes something unique sculpturally, it's like, okay, did it blow my mind? Would I buy that? Then cool, let it win. But you know, sometimes functional beats that just because we all like to smoke.
I forgot.
Preach.
So in the chat, Stephen Pierce thinks that 2 judges that are the same the whole season, but 1 judge that was like influencer, guest judge. I don't know. He says guest judge. I don't. I can be glass blower. So Jason, I'm sorry that Stephen stole your idea right out of your mind. Stephen, do better. But what do you guys think?
Can you repeat it again?
2 glass blowers.
And 1 guest judge that
Steven,
can know
you
about
tell the
oh
people
my
what
God.
you think, man.
Let's go.
Dude, you gotta have 2 judges all season that are always there, and then 1 guest judge, and that could be somebody who blows glass or doesn't blow glass.
So,
Thank you.
So is
That's it.
are you saying like it would have to be the 2 judges for the entire season or the same, or just for the whole night, or they have to be the same for the whole season?
I think that the best in order to judge fairly across the board, you gotta, number one, have scorecards, but number two, if you have the same two judges, needs to be as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
Across the season, then you'll always get the same scoring. And then you have an additional guest judge that can be whoever it is. That can be round by round. That could be a whole episode. That could be whatever that is. But then you get consistent scoring, because then it's fair across the board, because it won't be because I like Bono, because I like this person, because a Blue Jay is the best to watch and I always want to vote for him. It's, you know what I mean? You're looking at a scorecard, you're judging on the same criteria, the same thing every time.
Lit. Thanks, Steven.
If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to call.
Okay, cool. That's great.
All right. Adios.
Any opinions on that?
You guys think that if we bring up Salt, he'll call me next? No, he won't call me.
Marina.
Okay, I think I've narrowed down what I thought my actual point was, and then I think that that through the round, the judges who are all knowledgeable and whatever should still be watching the round, but that you guys should get other members of the community to get on and make it a more interesting show, and make there be a bunch of personalities that people are following, and bring the competitors on and humanize them. They're always just in the box, and they can't even talk to the people that are commentating, and the commentators aren't always commentating that much. And I think that it should be that the young kids or people passing through or famous people or whatever are hopping on and commentating and just chatting and doing their podcast thing, because I think that's how you stream. That's how you keep the viewers. And you guys have to talk to the chat more, and all that streaming etiquette should be incorporated, and even maybe on your guys' page on the Twitter. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what Marina Glass is saying right now, and so much that just I just want to say I've literally had somebody say that I was like, hey, did you see the show or whatever? And they're like, oh yeah, it was cool, I saw this and that, and they're talking about Pokemon cards or something like that. And so people ties into what I was saying before, when people just come in, you want to from start to finish have a production type thing that really is gravity. And I know that's a lot of work, but I think it could pay off. And can I throw out a production idea?
Go ahead,
While I have it, if that's on our list or anything, get it out of the way. Okay, hear me out, all right? We hire someone, or we give someone a promotion. Bottom line, someone now needs a job, I think, who their sole purpose is to sit and watch the stream on their phone or in somewhere, but they need to watch the stream, and they need to work here. And they need to be able to tell the producer, Kurt, hey, this is priority. Because there have been times where the logo's wrong and no one notices, or the mics don't work, or you'll interview somebody and nobody heard any of it, and this one isn't as important. Who? Kid Glass. So yeah, someone. And I had hella fun at Billy's birthday, but just a detail I noticed is I came down here and I whooped drunk Billy, and no one judged my piece. And I'm that I just think that if someone's job was to quality control the feed, then we would have better quality feed.
I think that that's something that we've been working on, and we're also planning. I know it's been in talks. It is hard because we have a smaller team, but it's been in talks of Kurt this season, I know, really tried to sit back there, but then he's also dealing with shit that goes wrong. Yeah. What? Oh.
What's up, Coda?
Needs to change the battery.
Yeah, you don't have to ask us.
Or you could shift that job onto the entire bar and just have you could shift that job onto the entire bar and have a good connection line to Kurt. A priority hotline.
Yeah, there's a few things that we're changing, that we're going to attempt to change between now and then. It's going to allow there to be more visibility from a more visible.
Yeah, I think
locations.
like whenever Salt was performing here for the Puffco event, I remember like running from the front all the way to the back, like looking for Kurt to tell him that like there was no audio at all or something. And people were commenting, like it went on for like way too long, like
way too long.
10 minutes.
Someone in charge of reading out the chat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah, that's something that we're working on. Okay, so we're past judging. Judging. No one else has any comments on judging? Comments, questions, concerns?
Oh,
Joe?
How many topics do we have?
We have. Okay, so we have the whammy wheel. We have exposure, which is that one's a big one, guys. Pink pyramid pain, topics and creativity, the color wall, and then if y'all have any future ideas. So 6.
I got an idea. We
well,
could
we're
make
not
this
very-
2-part meeting. If you want to
still
cover
have-
everything.
We still got plenty of time.
That
We're
being
only
said,
an
I'm
hour
down
and
to
10
stay
minutes
here
in.
till like 3 a.m. I'm dedicated.
No. I think that we'll
Okay.
get done by this with this
I agree.
before 10.
Let's do it.
This is only gonna be a 3-hour meeting, guys. Don't worry.
Cool.
All right, the whammy wheel. All right, I don't know if that's the official name of it. Joe always says no whammies, and so that's what we're calling it today. Thanks,
It's
Joe.
a ripoff of a TV show. I don't mean to break
Okay.
that glass for anybody.
Oh man,
I definitely did steal
my
it.
whole life's a
think-
lie.
Yeah, they say that on the show. They say no one.
Okay,
It's a reference.
I didn't mean to shatter the illusion for anybody.
what do you guys think about the whammy wheel? You guys like the whammy wheel? You don't
I
like
like
the
it.
whammy wheel? You would like to see the whammy wheel replaced with another way to receive a whammy? Thoughts, feelings, concerns? You guys don't care at all?
I like the wheel. Someone said something. It wasn't my idea. Not here today, but someone said something about
wheels.
2 wheels
That
and
was
one's in it. I liked
nostalgia.
that one. That was a cool idea. What-
Nostalgia
Yeah,
said
I-
something
Yeah.
about like doing.
2 wheels.
Sriracha.
Oh, it was sriracha. About doing one wheel that's like prizes, and that's like you always get an incentive for the round, and then one that's like whammies.
I heard someone say a wheel for the topics too.
Yep,
We used to
run it
do
that
a
way.
wheel for the topics, and low-key everyone hated it.
Okay.
That's not true. That's
I would not like that, but that's because I like to know like what I'm gonna make personally.
Wasn't the thought there?
yeah, like yeah.
All right, let's get this microphone thing back.
I think the thought there was so if the competitors know the topic ahead of time, then the quality of the pieces that comes out of the show at the end of the night exponentially increases. But like that could be a whammy on the wheel, maybe, is like one slot is just topic change. And like the judges get to choose, or Billy's choice, or something like that. Because I feel like the whammy wheel evens the playing field, right? Like playoffs, me versus Endo. He's been blowing glass for longer than I've been alive. Nobody blows glass wearing gloves. So that's like what it landed on, and we're both in the same spot, even though he may have infinitely more experience. But yeah, topic change could be quite a whammy.
Squirt poo.
So overall, other than changing things on the wheel, everyone here likes the idea of keeping the wheel, except for Dylan. Dylan, what do you have to say down there?
Have y'all thought of giving somebody like one respin per season?
Can you talk more than the microphone? for me?
Like one extra spin, like you can respin it if you don't
so then
like what
each
you
competitor
got.
gets one.
Just one per season, one redo.
I never considered it, but I do like that idea.
I like it. All in favor, raise your hand.
We're not making any decisions here, so that. Billy, you look eager to say something. What do you
I
guys say?
think it shouldn't be something that's guaranteed. Like
The way we
winning
do?
winning gives you something, losing does something to you. I think is overall how I see it. So like, do you just get a respin? If you win, you could get a respin.
Like
That's
if
how not to
Maybe if you
earn a
won, like,
respin
3
rather
times
than I know
already that
the
season,
crowd
like,
just
Oh,
spoke.
that'd be
you
cool.
earn a respin.
You hit a fucking 3-kill streak and you get a respin.
Yeah.
that you can use. Thank you, Billy.
It's only benefiting the best players. I don't think you should be giving extra tokens to the best players. I feel like it should be even. That if everyone gets a respin, everyone gets one respin. The best players maybe don't ever use it.
That was the exact problem we had with the topics on the wheel, because we allowed the winners to pick a topic if they won.
Yeah.
So like if you won 5 topics in a row, you could have 5 topics.
Now make it my topic.
Yeah, we had a lot of Puffco pivot tops. Joy Glass?
Some shows do like as a reward, so like you put like instead of a sponsor, put like a pin that's a respin, so that way if you land on that and you win that round, then you get that pin for like the remainder of the tournament of like, oh, now I'm gonna respin it because I won this. You know, you got to work.
Oh, like
for
that
it.
would be on the whammy wheel or something?
Yeah, it'd be on the whammy
And
wheel.
it's,
Like,
yeah, it's a redeemable coin.
also, the minus 1 minute, plus 1 minute, like, can we up the anxiety? Like, make it like 5 minutes, make people either panic or be like, how many times people finish with 2 minutes left? It's like, oh, now I got 7 minutes left.
I have
gotta
to do
make, yeah, I
something.
have to do something, you know? I like stress, a little stress out.
What do you think about a one? So okay, so if it lands on like they're only plus 7 minutes, it lands on it once. We're done with it for the night, right? So then what if it was like plus 20 minutes? Is that too much?
I think that's a little much. I think like, you know, 5 minutes would be plus or minus would be like the perfect amount because then it's either a 15-minute round or a 25-minute round. So
-5. I've heard -3 was too much.
well, I mean, try to
-5 is
stress some
crazy.
people out. Yeah, I mean, we're getting comfortable with the 20 minutes. I made a bong ball. That's crazy. I didn't know I could do that. It's like
Your heart breaks.
You see the 15, you're like.
I agree with him that that's not a significant change in the time of 1
Only-
minute. Like
yeah.
that doesn't really affect things very much.
Can.
How
it cooks?
I do think though for like end of the season, finale tournament, last episode, last 2 episodes when, you know, it's cut down to top 4 or 5 or whatever, that could be interesting since, you know, money's on the table, big prize, plus 20 minutes on top of the, like a big chunk of extra time for the finale, I think would be a good versus the whole season.
I like that.
And I'm sorry to do this. Everybody likes the wheel. That was the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Isn't that lame? No one disagreed. We thought we might get like someone be like a 20-sided die that you no.
I love 20-sided die.
Okay.
No, we're past it. You guys all like the wheel. No dartboards for us guys. We were about to.
Oh,
order
dartboard was my
dartboards, but
idea.
Not anymore.
That was my idea, dartboard.
Next topic.
Next topic. Well, before we get to the next topic, does anyone need a Puffco?
Yeah.
Can I say something? One last thing
Kelly, which is already loaded. We got double tap.
important maybe. I just want to throw out, I think like if you were to ask me what's the biggest problem with the wheel, I would just say that we have to spin it too many times. I wish I had an answer for it, you know?
Like why it lands on the same stuff.
Well, I think y'all fix that. I just think, you know, it's a big competition with the rules.
It takes a lot of time.
It takes, you know, you're not allowed to do it twice if it lands on a thing. If it's an obstacle, maybe having those 2 wheels idea, maybe that fixes it.
I have a
like
question.
A perfect answer for this, but I just think as a viewer, in the wheel
Would you-
spinning, you lose that anticipation. Drum roll. All right, let's drum roll again. Like, you know what I mean? You lose that climax.
Does anybody does anybody think the wheels should be one wheel all night? Like it's that basically
Like it lands on the first one at the start of
and
the night
everybody
it stays.
runs the same thing.
Like for all night, everybody wears gloves. Like
Yeah,
if it lands on
that's-
gloves.
yeah.
I don't like that. Personally, sorry.
If it lands on a topic, why don't you have like backup, like little pieces of paper that you can put over it with new topics?
Like I rip it off and it like says something under it.
Or like you reverse actually.
No.
You put something like, okay, we landed on gloves. Cover up all the gloves with like a new one.
Yeah.
You know.
The reason, and I think you're on to what should be done. I think there's the wheels weighted, right? So there's this
What?
one. Well, this is what
Well,
it's
it's
been.
just- it's
This is
just
what it's
like
been
what
every
something
time.
wrong with
Anybody
this
who's been
wheel.
watching could tell. There's like it only lands on about 6 of them, and if in the past I've gone in a couple and switched the wheel during so that it lands on the other 6. Except the other problem that you were saying, there's only 6 topics on the wheel. Like we could just say let's put 30 on it, and then it would so rarely land on the same thing. Even right now, our wheel's weighted. So it would still end up landing on the same thing from time to time. Nah, you have to like the wheel needs a little bit of work. Well, basically, overall, the wheel is just kind of a hard thing to do because I won't go into it.
wheel.
We're staying with the wheel.
guys.
We're staying with the wheel. I'm just giving you the reasons why the wheel. The reasons why we don't change the wheel is because the 4 to 5 minute time in the middle of the rounds is what we're really trying to accomplish. So to erase the wheel and add it to all the other things that everybody's doing in the middle, seems very like something that we're just going to keep missing. You know what I mean? And I hate to like overall the ideas get better, right? Which we want to do. Is that something I foresee the change being able to happen easily? I think we need to add more topics.
Sorry. Does anybody else have anything on this before I move on to our next topic? All right, our next topic, which I think this one might be a long one, we'll see, is exposure, content, and story. So this encapsulates a handful of different things, but one thing that we've touched on tonight is the story of the show, that the double elimination bracket's kind of confusing. It doesn't really feed into a story very well. That throughout the season, we've had like different like streaks, different competitions, different rivalries. How do you guys feel about making Last Man Standing more story oriented and less just like a sport? Wait, hang on, before Tana answers, because I've talked to Tana immensely about this.
Wait,
does anyone else have anything?
But I think I have an
Okay.
expansion on yours that
Okay.
will like
Not a
kind
question.
of yeah.
Tana?
So like kind of like with what Nostalgia did this season, like we loved that shit. You know what I mean? Like towards the end, like he really became like a personality and like told us like this is like a skit. Would y'all like that?
I mean, I like it. I really like when Billy came in and made soup. You know, just like weird stuff. I don't even care if he won or lost. It was just hilarious when Lot Boy comes with the shark hat. It's fun. I like when I try to like do the Kid Lazy Bone style against her. It's really fun, especially when we know who we're going up against. To be like, oh, let me get their style. Let me try to like beat them with their own thing, you know. Yeah.
So I really like that. I think that like taking the time to like do a whole like live thing is not my cup of tea. I think maybe we encourage like we mix the things with like pre-made promo shots.
Would
that
y'all be willing?
Maybe the glass blowers are welcome
Yeah.
to make themselves and submit it, and then it's like a time allotted video thing that we can run that's like a hype video. And if you want to put a skit in that, you can. If you want to put an ad in that, you can. If you want it to be like, hey, here's my come up, you can. It can just be
Competitors could
you
get
in front of a
sponsors.
camera, or you and a friend can edit a fancy video, John Cena, that shit.
Blue Jay?
What?
Blue,
Like before you get announced, before like the cameras come on, right before the commercial ends.
whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
it'd be
I
like,
got a microphone. I'm gonna go Blue Jay, and I'm gonna move it from Blue Jay to Marina if she has something.
I prefer Greasy Dreams. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go Greasy Dreams, and then I'm gonna go Marina. Greasy Dreams on Spotify.
God damn it. Pass for now.
just gonna
out the
preemptively
glass
give this to you.
No, I forget. Oh, I got it. I think the idea here is like an overall arc of a story for the season. You know, like everything kind of like runs into the next week to the next week. You know, like obviously we don't know what's gonna happen, but you know you can kind of like feel it as it goes. You know, and like have like you know it doesn't have to necessarily be real, but it has to be like genuine. You know what I mean? Like the stories, like you said, like that, but that has to tie maybe into something else. You know what I mean? That would have maybe come earlier in the season. You know, every episode kind of has to kind of connect to each
So
other
I
to
feel like-
tell a story. If you want to tell a story,
I feel like by
Whoa, wait.
doing.
Whoa, I was going from
Oh,
him to
sorry.
Marina.
No, I don't think I.
Oh, okay. You can go. Well, you're interrupting. You skip the.
She said that earlier, but anyways, I think that with us giving like y'all the schedule beforehand, that's something that we could really like all coordinate together. Cause like also like I think it was Nostalgia and Lot Boy when they did like Spy versus Spy and they planned that before. Like I would love to see more shit like that. Like you were saying, like going for somebody's style or coordinating beforehand. And I think by giving y'all like Joy Glass, like you know you're gonna go up against Bono week 7. Like you could hit up Bono week 3 and be like, so what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? And like plan something really fun. And we're not talking about it yet, but that could like go into Pink Pyramid of Pain. Oh,
I was gonna say that kind of ties into judging, and the Pink Pyramid of Pain. That if we add like a section that's like, oh, did they do a show? Did that get them extra points? Then that could be what, like, you could see clearly who has the most show in them based on the numbers on people's cards, and then like they move up, and you make a big show of like, oh, and he moves up and whatever.
From the bottom level of the Pink Pyramid of Pain, here comes Bono.
Like maybe if somebody wins that, it's like almost like the underdog thing too, is if you know that like all season you're competing against like really like the glassblowers just always win. Like if you know that you could be like, well, if I really perform this season and get to the top of this or like the Pink Pyramid, I'll automatically get into playoffs. Like we did something.
I kind of like that the Pink Pyramid has nothing to do with
the so far in most of the planning, Pink Pyramid of Pain, we'll talk about it a little bit later,
prizes.
But more of a separate thing to encourage people to do crazy things so that the judges don't have to consider whether or not you danced in the room or not.
Because the performance doesn't really have to do with your piece, and I feel like you should be judged on your piece, and that some people, if they are just quiet, and like Keller just goes in there and fucking does her thing, does it well, leaves, like that's just as good.
Yep,
She doesn't have to make a big show.
And yeah, we'll talk about more Pink Pyramid.
Oh wait, take the mic.
I just wanted to say,
sorry.
No, for some on the Pink Pyramid of Pain, somebody like me, I didn't win a match this season. I mean, I did good and well, and but like I didn't win one, but I did win, the Pink Pyramid of Pain, and that was like amazing. You know what I'm saying? So, I think being it separate than the actual rankings, is a good idea for sure.
But I do feel like people would like to judge that. Like the judges probably would like to be like, oh, dude, I liked his skit. I think he gets, 4 out of 5 points. And then you like tally them up, and you need 10 points to move up, or however it works.
I don't not like that idea, but I like that the Pink Pyramid of Pain is the show host's opinion. And I don't know how y'all presented this to the viewers, but whenever the Pink Pyramid of Pain was presented to me, it was nobody knows what it is. It's just what Tana thinks of you. I don't know if that's a joke or not, but I took it seriously, and I didn't know until I
won.
If Tana
and
then I
like
smashed
you,
up that frit, and I won, and I was like, oh, I think I figured it out. So we should be transparent with the people or not. I like the joke. We should run with it or not. It's hard for me to I don't know what's up.
So I guess my question goes to judging and Pink Pyramid of the Pain at the same time. Is that show is obviously something that we want to promote. Everybody in here has kind of said, hey, can we get some show? You know what I mean? Do you give points on show for the judges? Right? Then the next question is, if the judges aren't sitting, do you have to exclude show from the judges? Should we encourage competitors to make sure they're saving some of their show for the thing? Sorry to use nostalgia as the example, right? The show wasn't started yet. He wasn't on. He hadn't really walked into the room, brought out his case of glass, like his case of pipes, like he was on the lot. How is that supposed to be part of the judging? You know what I mean? And as if your show is included in the judging portion of it, then the judges could actually include it. Now, I don't have a pitch on this, because overall, I love the idea of that the who's in charge gets to make arbitrary decisions, because this comes out of WWE full stop. It's like, who do I like? What do I like? What do I want now? Give it to me or else, right? And in a way it could be like, because that's where the commissioner started from, the idea that it was Vince McMahon. Right, is like, why would I be the commissioner? Is this a serious position? Am I wearing this suit because I take myself seriously, or am I wearing this suit because it's something different? And I think that's where I came up with the commissioner idea. Except that, like, that's the idea behind. That was the idea that I had. On the other hand, it could be hella structured. It just says, anyway. You guys get my point. Blue Jay. I mean, Grazy.
Yes, sir.
That I think you should be able to play a character if you want to play a character, and then if you're playing a character, then then you're part of the show that's playing characters, and you gotta like kind of like fit into the storylines with the characters. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or it won't make sense. You know, not everybody has to play a character. You might want to go and handle your business, get your W and get out. That's cool. You know what I mean? But I feel like, you know, there's probably enough people that would like get into some kind of character, you know, and it doesn't have to be the same character every week, but it just kind of has to make sense with like the other characters, you know. That's how you kind of can build drama between like the peoples, you know. Oh, shit,
I just want you to be finished for sure.
yeah.
I just want to say, you know, people are gonna act how they're gonna act, and I think we can judge accordingly on the glass in the show. But one of the viewers told me that they thought it was interesting because they watched the show at home, and to us, everyone in this room, we're all characters already because they just know us through the TV. And so whenever he came to the glassmith, he was like, well, this is I like feel like this should be crazy because I'm always watching these people, but they're like, everyone here is just like people. And I'm like, yeah, that's what's so cool, because we are cool, and this like thing we do is cool, and the Glass Man Standing media coverage of it portrays it in such a way naturally.
I think it's just a little bit hard too, because although we are already characters on our own, like the end goal, especially for us as like the production team, is to be able to like make money off of this and be able to like pay you guys, you know what I mean? And the way I think that we're trying to go about it is like through getting exposure and like blowing up, you know what I mean? Like our whole premise is based on the fact that like Marina was saying, like it is supposed to be like an interesting podcast or like an interesting show to watch. And so I think encouraging more of like the bits and stuff, like everybody remembers the round that Billy made matzo ball soup. What did the person who played against him? It was Keller, wasn't it? No, I don't remember who it was, but you remember that Billy did the crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Marina. Let me get to you in 1 second. Trip's got something to say.
Wait, hold on, Trippy.
I won that round.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
That shit was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. All right, sorry. Marina, go ahead.
You won that tournament.
That was good. I just have something to say about chasing virality, and that I don't think that should even be your guys' goal, actually. And that I think by chasing that, you might even hinder yourself. And that really what it is having something consistent, having something that's comforting, having something that's interesting. Like how you build your Twitch is just streaming. Like it's not by going viral, it's by like slowly building this group of people that like what you're doing. And there's a bunch of people that like what you're doing, but you have to keep it wholesome.
But
and
I
it
think
seems
it's
like
also
you guys
hard
want to
getting
do
like more people, you know.
Hey, no interruptions.
Sorry.
She wasn't done.
I mean that was all I think. That by trying to like that to get more recognition or to get more viewers, I guess I don't think that it really has to be about the drama or the performance or any of it, and that you guys have a really cool format going on that maybe not like the masses, the young geens of the internet, but that a lot of people would watch and would pay the ads or the subscriptions and whatever, and that you guys could make money off of it while all not going viral.
So, and I understand that point. Consistency is the game. The virality part, I think, it's almost like AI. Right, is like as a word. You know what I mean? Like, are we trying to go viral? No. But are we trying to have great people who have a lot of followers and a lot of their own following come on in order to give us a quick boost? For sure. Do I see the WWE model as an incredibly profound model that I have no idea why the masses like this shit so much? You know what I mean? What I see on the ground as somebody who doesn't like WWE is that people really, really, really like this. Like they like it more as the masses like WWE more than they like basketball. and they're starting to switch basketball to as WWE as possible. And I think this is essentially like where I keep coming up, because we have genuine art here, right? Like there's genuine artists making genuine art, and we could highlight genuine art just like Blown Away, right? A real sophisticated, classy show. On the other hand, what I see on the ground of what people really like is something in between WWE, Love Island, and whatnot. You know what I mean? And that's as an old, you know what I mean? But this is like what I'm looking at. All right, let me see this.
Was that your ringer, Bono? Maybe.
I think that if you want to bring in, I mean, I believe Marina is right, that slow growth, consistency is key. When you bring in the comic aspect or just the personality aspect, it doesn't even need to be, it doesn't, yeah, well, no, the personality of being maybe like talking heads, you know, just have somebody with a separate camera go outside, ask them how they felt about their match, what happened, you know, have a couple questions to ask them, and then that can be separate, done while the other two people are competing. And then that the live, you don't get that, but it's a reason to watch the episode when it comes out, because then you get to hear, oh, what did Joy of Glass think when he lost? You know, his piece cracked, was he able to save it? You know, all that stuff happens after. Those people just pretend to forget that, oh, I lost that round, I was really excited, I thought I was gonna win, you know. So maybe a talking head after.
I like that a lot too. Yeah, I think it's just like a matter, like, because that is also something we've talked about, is a matter of like finding the best path to do that, is like what we've struggled with. Like, because there is a lot of the time where like people, and it's like hot as fuck up there, like people lose a match, like they finish and like they grab their tools and they're out. Like they either leave or they come straight to the back. So it's like also trying to find like, if like people are comfortable with that, you know what I mean? Because just like we were talking about, like, and Bono said, like there's some people that aren't as like, it's not as easy to like get them on camera and willing to like do those like pre and post production things, you know.
I think that's another reason to have an incentive for some people to come, but also it's kind of part of the job if we want the exposure. Like I'm kind of a fanboy myself, so when you guys ask, oh, you want to do extra stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, let me come and do a round table. Like, this was optional, but we showed up.
Yeah.
You commented on exposure. Everyone that's on the show, do you feel like the exposure from the show thus far has been a part of why you come, or do you think you come more so just from a you want to be a part of a thing?
I think both. I mean, I'm getting like a slow growth. It's nothing crazy, but you know, now a bunch of amazing glass artists follow me, and I get inspired every day. No joke. 30 marbles, 30 days. That's tough. That's consistency. Like, I was like, oh wait, but I have a trip this day. Can I do 30-day challenge? Like, you really start to think, wow, they did it. I why am I complaining? So exposure, it's awesome, yeah, but it's not exactly. Yeah, community is why I come.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through a couple different things that have to do with this that are off topic of everything we just talked about, but I just have the questions written down, so I have to go through them. What do you guys think about being mic'd up during the rounds? You guys like having a microphone on you? You don't like having a microphone on you?
I think it's better for the competitors to be part of the conversation. I think it's kind of disjointed that, like, they're just in there in their little box and they can't
Will
hear.
you give a microphone?
Oh, yes.
I just can't see you. Okay, I just fully can't see you.
That they can't like hear or talk, and I do think it would be cool for the competitors to get to be a part of it.
So I agree with that completely, because I think that like them also, like when like Smitty will be on and he'll be like, oh, like that's about to crack or something like that. Like I want them to be able to talk back. I guess like my question is almost like, what do we do about the people who are really anti it? Like there are some people who are like, I can't like get in, you know?
Do you consider that as an advantage that you can hear the competitor, like Smitty saying that's about to crack?
I think it's a
Isn't that
little
an
bit of
advantage?
both, because if you hear in your ear that Smitty's saying your piece is about a crack, he might say something valuable that makes you fix it before it does, or it just might stress you out more. And I think that's where it's like it's a problem, because some people would like to hear that, some people wouldn't.
Blue Jay.
I don't mind being mic'd up, but I ain't trying to have anything in my ears.
See,
You know what I mean?
it's too
Cool.
distracting.
I'm trying to get in there and do my job.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need anybody else to tell me how to do it anytime. You know what I'm saying? So like, but if you want to hear me like struggle through it vocally, that's fine. You know, I don't care.
I think it should be optional like it is. But, and this might be a me problem, but I'm going to admit it. There was like 3 times at least where I did not have, I didn't have it in my ear, and I would have preferred it to be in my ear. But whenever you're about to go on, there's a lot of pressure. You're doing a lot of shit, especially if you have a complex piece. You're trying to remember like 30 baking steps, basically, you know, and you come in, you get out your tools, you're trying to like not slow down production. You
And if
also
we
are
did,
trying to
like,
look at
minus
everything
5
you do is on
minutes.
camera. You get this device that you've never held before, maybe, like not me. And it's like, did the other person already turn it on? Whatever. I don't know. I think like it might be asking too much, but it might help to have someone to be like, hey, here's your shit, it's on, like, and let's do like maybe just a quick like mic check, you know?
Like where it's mandatory.
Joy glass.
Yeah, like right, like whenever you start each round, like maybe have like them check in with everybody, like how they check themselves, check the competitors, and like if they're not responding, maybe go through the effort to put an employee up and be like, hey, they're trying to talk to you, can you hear them? And if they say no, then help them out. I don't know.
Joy glass.
We can also add a speaker instead of like the earplugs. So like on the inside. But what I wanted to say was, it is an advantage when we hear like that he's saying, oh, it's gonna crack. Oh, put it in the kiln for it to anneal. But this new show that I'm watching, Next Level Chef, Gordon Ramsay's right there, and he's like, oh, you're about to burn that. Flip it. But in the end, it makes for a better piece. We're getting instructed by the masters. You know, let them teach us. Let us show that we got better things. Well, sometimes masters. I know sometimes it's... No.
So
I just meant because I've heard bad advice.
Oh.
I've been watching the show, and I've seen a judge say, oh, he's doing... Like, because they're in the middle of talking about, like, Pokemon cards, and then they're like, oh, he's doing this, and it's like, oh, or that happened because he didn't do this. Like, I as a viewer, I'm watching this shit happen. As a glassblower, I'm watching each step, and then I'll see a judge come in and say something that isn't accurate. And so, like, if I'm blowing glass or whatever, potentially, their advice could throw me off if they don't know what I'm working. So I like it to be optional, you know? Don't get stay out of my head.
You're on the microphone? Or microphone in here, or this is separate from it?
So I just went through this all night, and I like it and don't like it. Like, I wish that I could control the volume better. I think that if we could, we would get way better earpieces. Like, we went from the iPhone, like we had AirPods to start, which were just like, if we could continue with that, that would be so awesome. It just didn't work, right? So now we're dealing with these kind of analog things that are always kind of going and then like the audio I'm hearing isn't that good, and I'd rather be listening to the Bone Thugs. You know what I mean? Like I have like music that I can listen to if I'm going to be paying it, like focusing on what I'm supposed to focus on, which is 20 minutes of pure go. Sorry, before I give it to you, T, is that the other part of it is that the mid-round interview is untenable. Like, I'm like, I can't right now. You know what I mean? So if I had an earpiece in, this conversation could kind of be going on during and when I have a chance. You know what I mean? Like, somebody would see me just spinning my hand. Like, especially, like, I think as the person asking the questions grows, they can see more and more about what's happening, whether that's J-Box or Tana. They both have this ability now, because they've been blowing glass, to start picking their points a little bit more, right? When there's just this hard in at the 9-minute and 30-second point, and then Tana has to get both these questions done by the 10-minute and 30-second point, when really we could just be wearing an earpiece so that we could be having this conversation at a set point in time. But I don't, like, I'm saying that, like, as the person who's paying for the technology currently, I don't know this. I don't absolutely know the solution.
That's kind of what I was like. Sorry, Squirt. That's kind of what I was gonna say of like maybe an option, like we give them the headset, but they don't really know how to work them. But if it was like there's a button on it where they can just mute it, you know what I mean? And it's like if they don't want to hear the person right now, like if Keller's like in there and she's getting overwhelmed by like everybody talking in her ear, she could just turn it off. But then there's like I don't know, just some way that it could be like an optional thing, but it's still there that way if it's like necessary.
As a LLC owner, I'm with Billy. Let's save the money. I like the machines that y'all have. And if you got that, I mean, I think live with it or buy a couple new cords every now and then, you know. But it's just, you know, for me, it was just the pressure of like whenever you're coming on, if you want the contestant mic'd up and you've given them the job of prepare for this intense anxiety-filled moment, mic them up. Like you put the mics on us. Just maybe also do that for the earpieces. If we're trying to save money.
Well, sorry, Kurt, and then I'll give it to you. Is why we stopped is because of the optionality. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like if this is interesting to you, you do it. If it's not, because the whole thing's just a pain. That was the point. Kurt, you go ahead.
So.
If you're coming in and like, you know, say you're coming in, you're a glass blower, you're coming in for this money, you're ready to perform, you're ready to do it, but like, man, your dog fucking died. But you do this for the grind or some shit. Like, I don't know. It's just nice to have the option to be like, I'm coming in to do my thing and I just need no distractions. There's some people, you never know what other people have going on, and I think it's nice to have the option.
I really like the idea of trying to get the glass blowers that are competing to be more characters, more known by the audience, and I feel like that and it's almost the best when if you're upset, like you're hilarious. I didn't realize because you're so quiet on the show. Like I almost think it should be mandatory. I feel like you should be mic'd up and you should like be spitting back at whoever's talking the whole time, and that like that's gonna make people connect more with the artist. And like if they don't want to talk, they don't have to talk. If they want to take their earpiece out, like that's a message to the judges or whatever, but that like they should be forcefully included in the show that's going on while they're performing for that show.
I'm not mad at it.
Blue Jay,
Is it
Greasy.
Yeah, you go.
I feel like the show is about the glass. The Flash, you know, I don't feel like it should be forced. I don't think it should be like, hey, you gotta be doing this. You know, you either want to listen to people talk about you or you don't. You know, I found it, you know, a little distracting when I did it with Billy. It was the first time I've done it, you know, and I had the earpiece in, and it definitely took about like 15% of my concentration away from what I was doing, and it definitely showed in my work. And so, like, I don't want to, you know, I would have them off all the time. I would talk in the mic, you know, I mean, but like, and I look at the people when I'm blowing glass, you know, I can kind of get the vibe of what they're saying, you know. I mean, if there's an emergency, there's a ton of people around. I mean, like, what do you really got to say to me that like you're right next to me, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, you know, if it's the technology thing, put the speaker in there, boom.
So
I'll get earplugs.
Speaker plays back into the microphone, so I can't mic you up and have it go through the speakers for the most part. But what would you guys think about the people who don't like the idea of talking to or having to talk to the people? What if the microphone wasn't these microphones that we're passing around right now, but it was a microphone that saved to a SD card purely for post editing, like for the post process? So like if you're talking in there, like you aren't necessarily, if you're listening to judges, you're just listening to judges. The microphone's on you to pick up whether or not you say something mean to the person next to you, or if you cut yourself or whatever, we're picking up this audio still.
I think it a little bit defeats the point then. of
Then
them.
they're
Like,
even more excluded.
yeah, because
Then
I
they're
think
like-
so yeah, some people don't like these microphones.
I think, but I think the problem is more that they don't want to listen, not
Yeah,
that they
you
don't
can't-
want to
You
talk.
can't wear this and not have an earpiece.
Well, no, I agree. I agree.
That was what I was saying in the situation where we're taking away the earphones. Do people still like you don't want to be talking to people because your dog died? Can we still put a microphone on you that is just picking up audio for post? You know, you're not a part of a conversation. We're just picking up audio in the room.
So we can hear you talk about your dead dog later. Well, no, I'm not saying
Well, I don't
talk
think-
about what's going on. I'm just saying, like, regardless, that's just like an example. Like, maybe someone's having a bad day. Maybe it's how they work best. Maybe they want to focus. Maybe they want to listen to the judges and hear their input and stuff. You know, regardless, I think that the option, regardless, should be there. We shouldn't exclude that judges, and they should still have to do interviews and still have to have a mic on them, for sure. But also, my whole opinion kind of flipped after Marina Glass, and then Jay started talking, and I know he was like saying the opposite, but it just made me more so I'm for.
I kind of also am a believer in a certain amount of bullying being good for you, and like someone being over your shoulder fucking talking shit makes you a better glassblower, makes you better under pressure. It like just slides off your shoulder, or it gives you a chip on your shoulder, and then you're like showing out even
Working
harder,
harder, yeah.
talking back, or like I don't know. I feel like the bullying that I received and that feeling over time, and then getting better and better, was a good thing, probably.
Sounds a little toxic.
The glass blower scene, baby.
Clara. Oh wait, hey, Clara, recognize?
Hey, so I, as somebody that's been in the room with people when they're like under 2 minutes, me and Coda are right on their backs. I've gotten a lot of comments about how overstimulating it is. So then people also in their ears and then feeling claustrophobic in there. I think a lot of people are going to get overstimulated and not want to talk. I've tried to have conversations with people in there and they're like, do not talk to me right now. It is like, I have 2 minutes left to do this. Don't talk to me. So I don't know how beneficial it would be for some people that get overstimulated already with no mic and nobody in their ear. That's just another thought.
So I kind of want to agree. Like, in a way, I want to agree with that. Like, so basically, the two perspectives I both really, really feel. Like, I like people to be uncomfortable. It's about 50% that just can't do it. You know what I mean? Including like dude, I'm saying it's aggressive. Like you watch Tana roll in there, and it's like they bark at her. You know what I mean? It's like she's asking her like a nice question about how their day is, and they're like, I like nothing. Get out of my face. You're like, damn, bro. It's led me to, it's like that kind of interaction has kind of led me to the idea that we're like, that's why we took the mics out, because we did force it, because we were saying, well, we have two people outside, we have two people inside. This is how we do the conversation. And then the two people inside really can't hold conversation. As you know, like as a glassblower, I am world class because of my experience. Like I blew glass outside at West Campus for 7 years, where blowing glass was what I did during the day. So people would come up and I'd be blowing glass and I'd be like, hold on, let me finish this piece before I sell you something. And that was just my life. So I'm extra good at talking to people in my ear while I'm doing this thing, where most people who blow glass, they don't ever experience this. And then a lot of people who are in here, and this is what I think we're slowly getting towards, is comfort. You know what I mean? Is like a lot of people that were not comfortable in this setting are now getting more comfortable in this setting. Are we comfortable enough yet to do it? I'm not sure. But overall, I feel that way, is that we want to be able to not have a microphone being thrust in your face. Overall, the decision we made before last season or the season before is that a microphone being thrust in your face is less stressful overall than the 20 minutes of hearing Smitty just hate on what you're doing. And you're like, can I really take, like I'm sweating already, and now this dude is calling out to the world that I'm okay.
No. Every time I raise my hand, you think you gotta stop.
I'm ready though.
No, I think I like it of like, I think it was Marina that just said this, of like, we put it on them, and in ways it is mandatory, but like, if somebody gets upset and like takes their earbud out, like that's like a statement too. You know what I mean? Like
It's
they
showing
don't have
their
to
character
talk,
still.
but like, yeah, like it's like a choice. Like, or if somebody like never wants to hear the judges, like they always come in and they have it on their neck, but they don't put it in. You know what I mean? Like it's like mandatory in ways, but like
I just don't want to have one of these microphones on someone who doesn't have an earpiece in.
yeah.
Well,
Which like
Yeah.
there's other solutions to that,
Yeah.
but like the
So
way
I think what Tana's talking about is that, man,
I'm just saying that the optionalness of it is like it adds more than it sounds like.
yeah.
Because these microphones, it's not like this microphone has to get turned off, put into a box, and so then if someone doesn't want to, we have to keep track of it, give it to Austin. In between rounds, we have to turn it back on. We have to reconnect it to the train. Like there's a lot in the
But that's what
other
I'm
side
saying
of it
is
that's
that
just like yes or no's. Yeah, I don't know.
It would
But
like
just-
always
just so
be
people are aware.
on, and
Okay.
like they would come in with the headset in.
No, I know
Like-
if you took your headset out, I don't want you with the microphone on.
Couldn't it be muted?
No, because they're on the same transmitter.
Again, the technology behind the show. If you want to donate or sponsor,
Netflix could figure it out.
Netflix will figure it out. If you guys want to
Netflix
holler,
doesn't run a live stream. They would have just put microphone.
Disney,
which is the
come
idea
on.
of the microphones that we just use in post. Is that
YouTube.
we don't have to worry about it for Twitch, but our in-game can go up. We can have the little interpersonal
Fubo.
scruffs. The person cutting
Fuck
himself
it,
going
Tubi.
fuck. You get all those
Tubi.
things on
Hulu.
microphone still, without it lowering the other stuff.
Who's next?
Well,
What's
does
next?
anyone else have anything on microphones? Okay, last thing on microphones. We talked about microphones.
I'm just
specifically
riffing on
for
what
way
you're
too
saying,
long.
but like you could get a system going where you give them the earpiece, you give them the microphone, and just let every contestant know if you take your earpiece out, we're gonna disconnect your microphone.
I can't just disconnect your microphone though.
Dang.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
One
Unless
day.
You give us some. We can get some new microphones.
I just hold it.
Well, I feel like you might know the competitors that won't want microphone, and then maybe do it beforehand and just have it
Oh.
be like that. It's always an option. Well, I guess that's already how it is, huh?
Yep.
That's already how it is.
Already.
All right. Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah, wait, can
Kate.
I say something?
Yep.
I don't think the microphone is the problem. I go in without an earpiece or like an earbud thing with every single time I went on this season. I had a microphone on every single time without the earbuds. I like the reason I don't want to wear earbuds is the thing is there's a cord behind me. If that thing falls out of my ear, that's like a whole different thing I got to figure out. And so like having like the separate maybe no cords, I know that's something we talked about. Maybe it's not going to happen this season, but it would really be a way bigger incentive because then it's like, oh, I'm in a stressful part. Earbuds fall out of my ears. I have a wire behind me. Can't really kick it out of the way because it's following me. It's kind of, it's a whole thing. But I know it's like difficult and stuff.
The AirPod was just so bad. Go ahead, Kurt.
Well, I was gonna say, on this next thing that I got, this next topic we're gonna talk about, guys.
I like this one.
We're gonna talk. The topic is topics. What did you guys think about the topics this season? You guys like the topics? Were they creative? Were they horrible? The one I want to hear the most about, onomatopoeia. That one was fucking crazy. What did you guys
Yeah,
think about
what
that?
loser came up with that one?
That was dumb.
It was like silly. It was like silly. I think it was a little too silly for the finale, but like I don't hate it. You know, I think it made an impression.
Do
People
you
talked
like
about
those
it.
harder to interpret ones, or you like simplicity and like animals?
I mean, I have actually recently studied topics. Like I kind of obsessed over it for like 4 days. It's probably spent about 30 hours on topics. Yep. Topics. I tried to analyze and come up with the scientific method to determine what topics would be in glassblowing competitions.
This is your topic.
This was the topic. And I like them all. I like the surprise. I think maybe I'm biased because I did that. I'm like, I guess I'm fucking ready for whatever you gotta throw because it can't be predetermined. I don't know if I helped. Sorry.
Bono knows every topic ever.
So
No, there's too many.
what is it? Well, before this goes back to Billy.
Yeah. Sorry.
This guy's
Pass that all the way down.
talked to almost as much as Hannah. Blue Jay, you have any thoughts on this topic?
Greasy at your service,
Hey,
sir.
I'm sincerely apologize.
It's
that I
fine. It's
continuously
fine.
use
You know,
your-
it's
Dead
good.
name him?
Blue Jay's a hell of a guy. You know.
Was.
Well, he still is. He's just, you know.
Not in this room.
He's just not around.
All right, you have any thoughts on topics?
I enjoyed the topics because it really made me like get outside of my comfort zone and everything. You know, I thought it was really cool. I really appreciated it.
Dylan? Well, wait, hang on. No, stop passing it towards Billy. Keep passing it away from him.
I'd just like for the next season, y'all to keep the holidays in mind of what's happening. Like for St. Patrick's Day, there could have been St. Patrick's Day theme, you know, for the holidays.
That was our bad.
Yeah.
Like we talked about that like this, especially I think if we give y'all all of y'all's matchups beforehand, like we need to plan around the things that are happening as well. We were good at it
No,
the
we
first
weren't.
couple
4th of
of
July.
seasons. No, the first couple of seasons, like we would run like 4th of July or like Halloween.
I never would miss 4th of July. Don't even know what the others were.
But yeah, I don't know. That was our bad for sure. We need to do that. Thank you.
Jog?
No, I'm good. I like the topics. Like, they're getting pretty wild. Yeah.
Marina, you have any thoughts on the topics as like the themes?
I'm
themselves?
impressed. That you guys come up with new ones.
Yeah, we're pretty impressive
It's
individuals.
gonna get
here.
weird
Now,
sometimes.
Billy, you have any thoughts on the topic specifically?
No.
Oh,
What's your question? What's your question? Go ahead.
Do you guys like that you saw all the topics before the season started, or do you prefer that you got them week by week?
I like it.
Can I get this? She has a microphone. Bono, what did you say? I couldn't even.
I like
hear
it.
I like it.
you. Dylan, you like it?
Maybe like 1 week in advance.
Yeah, I've tried to go look
Not
for
too
it on the
much time
page
to
before.
prepare.
Been like, oh, what's next week's thing, and not been able to find it.
Maybe announce it on
You're saying, Marina, you were saying that you couldn't find it like throughout the season.
Like I've just gone like as a competitor, I've gone and tried to be like, oh, like what's the theme, and then I end up having to ask somebody here that knows.
Yeah,
this
that might
last
make it
season, the
more
way
fair
that
for
we-
newer people coming in.
The way that we done it this season was at the beginning of the season. I had sent all of them the which is confusing for people who hop in. Like we sent them all out at the beginning before the season started, which doesn't end up getting put onto Instagram in that format.
Like maybe on the little sheet that you guys do of like, oh, this was the rankings from this week, and come back next week for onomatopoeias or whatever.
Onomatopoeia. I like that.
Yeah, I think overall announcing them ahead.
All right, Billy, what was your
Everyone
question?
fucks with that, I think.
Nobody in here likes topic not known. Not known. Is there a week in the season that we should run a topic not known?
I feel like that.
Oh, hey guys, our guy
gives
Trippy
too
here.
much
He's got
of
some
an
important things to say.
Wait,
Little
hold
thumbs
on,
up.
be
from
quiet,
Trippy.
Trippy.
Hands up.
Okay, now go.
I honestly think there should be a week with no topic or like a surprise topic. I like the idea of not knowing what the fuck we're doing.
But maybe just not every week.
It's not every week.
Maybe that can be a...
Wait, hold on. Wait, so the question at hand, I'm going to pass this thing down, is how strongly do you feel about knowing the topic ahead of time versus a random topic? And what percentage should it be one way versus the other in a season?
And I would also like everyone to contemplate if we did just do it for 1 week, if that week was finals. What y'all think about that?
I feel very minimal surprise
Ever.
episodes. No, some surprise is good. I agree. Some surprise is good. It's good to mix it up, you know. But a week in advance is I think perfect, you know, because plenty of time to formulate, you know, a game plan and
What
stuff
about
like that.
1 week though that we didn't know? Like
Yeah. I mean, like once in a while it's
You'd be
fine.
okay
you
with
know?
that?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Dylan?
I agree with what Tana was saying about for the finals having it be like you don't know the topic at all, because the finals are more high stakes. Like the regular season, those matches are a little lower stakes, but like there's career glassblowers competing that will last every single day. They could have that entire week, every day, practice, make their piece, versus somebody that has a job and they have to work like most of that week. They can't every day go in there and make like 15 different pieces throughout the week practicing, right? Or the finals, like when it's more high stakes, have it more even playing field for everybody.
Absolutely.
Almost like a good
Jog.
chance for the underdog.
Yeah.
Jog.
I like that idea for the finals, having like random topics. Also, like for a whammy wheel, you know, you pull a random topic. You know, somebody said before Billy's choice, something like that. That way, okay, you had your idea, then poof, it's gone. Then it comes up in the season once or twice. You know, who knows?
I kind of almost think that that it would be an advantage to better glass blowers to have it be that no one can practice, because someone like Indo, you know, sure, he wants it to be every time it's a new one because he's a sculptor, like he could just fucking pull something out of thin air, versus someone who would rather be able to practice. That gives you a better show if everyone has their best possible piece, versus like they're just trying to throw something sloppy together. They're not even a sculptor. They're like, okay, this, you know, and think about it while they're in that state of panic.
I think that's why I like doing it for finals too. Is because then it's like, you know, it's like the best of the best at the end. Billy has opinions if you'll pass the mic. And Kel Melts.
I objectively hate no topics, so I'm just skipping.
Oh, I already got one. Yeah, I think if we were gonna do it, finals would be the best, because if it's like during the regular season where, you know, things are still being determined and things are moving around, say topic unknown, I feel like we could do it this way, but to be totally fair to everyone, it would have to be a new topic that changed each round, because if it was the same unknown topic, like at the beginning of round 1, we were like, all right, here's the topic for the night. If you go in rounds 1 or 2, you're fucked.
I think
If
it'd
you
be
go
like
in round
envelopes.
5, you can hang out back here for 2 hours and have a fucking solid ass
You
practiced
can
idea.
think about it, yeah. Billy?
Yeah. Hey, I'm surprised by it, but I understand the idea behind it. Is that the finals, the piece that, like, we're trying to showcase pieces. This is kind of what we're trying to do. Is like, what can we showcase, and how do we showcase it? So the randomness, I completely agree with Marina. Is that the person who has the most skill can come in and make anything random because we've made a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that somebody who's been blowing glass for 20 years has made versus somebody who's been blowing glass compared to 2. It's just a different game. So if the people that are blowing glass for less know ahead of time what's going. So in that way, I completely agree. With the finals, I hadn't thought about this. I think that it makes me mad because the finals all of a sudden changes the game. There's like this like we're working towards this one thing in this one way, and all of a sudden we get to the very, very, very end, and all of a sudden it's random, it's different. Don't you think you should be playing the same game at the highest levels?
No. Well. Billy hit me, guys.
I saw you hit him.
Sport.
That was on camera, guys.
My favorite season finale was when we had those envelopes with the topics that we did that season. So like maybe you had a backup idea you didn't get to do. You know, I'm seeing a lot of pointing. This must have been brainstormed already, but I love it. Yeah, this season, next season.
I really always liked this idea, but it's always been the debate of if people would like the switch up of right at the end, all of a sudden we're playing kind of a different game. But I really liked when we did the envelopes too, and I think that eliminated like Keller's. Trippy said he did too, but I think that eliminated like Keller's like theory of like if it was just we released a topic at like the beginning of the night, you don't get time to like think about it if you're last round. I think everybody like has a fair, yeah. And in that case, if we did something like that, would y'all like all the envelopes to be on the same theme? Like maybe we were like the theme is animals, but like it's gonna be a different animal every time. That way you don't have to think that much about what you're making, or would you like it to be like a broad topic?
I do feel like it might be
Joe, take the microphone. Hand it to Marina.
God.
Wait, what did you say again?
What did I say?
Oh,
yeah,
I think it
like-
might be unfair if the topics are too different. Like, what if someone gets mammals and then the next round is onomatopoeias and it's the final and they're like, ah.
Yeah. So, like, do you think if we did something where it was like at the beginning of the night, we're like, I think it would be better than animals, but animals is an example where we're like, it's animals for the night, but nobody knows what animal you're
A slightly joined
Yeah.
theme
Billy
with
has stuff to
different
say.
envelopes.
Again, as a competitor, I cannot stand the idea that somebody gets something easier than me. And knowing who I am, no matter what somebody else gets, they had the advantage. You know what I mean? Like, why is there why at the most important time? And again, this is a lot about the money. Like, if we're doing this for free, it doesn't matter, right? But like, it's already like $1,000 is enough, right? And the goal to make it enough so that people really want to play and have to play, we have to make it more. And when it's more, all of a sudden somebody's doing something and somebody's doing something else.
And they're
But
gonna be
are you
mad
the
about
only
it.
competitor that feels that way? Because I feel like everybody else who's here has kind of voiced the opposite opinion.
I could see that though. Like, I could see it going wrong and someone being really upset, especially if it's the last damn one and it decides whether they get the $1,000 or not.
What's up, J-Box?
So we had discussed something similar leading up to this last playoffs, just because I wasn't the biggest fan of onomatopoeia, if I'm being completely honest, and so I was trying to get it changed. I like the idea of having a wheel, or at least envelopes or something with topics that aren't randomized, but maybe ones that you guys have done throughout the season.
Well, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be like... What did I do?
You didn't do anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you guys should like... Huh?
I just like the idea.
Oh, okay, thank you. I don't know, I guess I'm not used to that kindness from Kurt. Yeah, man, I would say...
It felt really fake.
I don't know how you guys would... I don't know how you guys would feel about that, but just like, I don't know, so it'd be kind of randomized, kind of like an in-between compromise or something like that?
I like that, and then I think that is like, it takes away kind of what you were saying of the unfairness of it all, is because you had to play that topic anyways.
Well, I didn't.
Like it's something you've done before already.
Well, but I think that
in the idea of
In
this,
that
it
season.
would- in that
Yeah.
So like the season 6 playoffs would consist of topics from season 6.
Like we would make it to where the wheel
A bunch of
had
stuff
all
that's-
of season 6, and so you'd spin it, and it would always
Or
land on
a bunch of stuff that's already been practiced all season, which I like. It still bothers me because during the season, there's easy and there's hard. There's some stuff that's like crazy, and there's some stuff that's easy.
But that's the chance of the whammy wheel. Like it just sucks. Like you
Because
just
it's
can't be,
by
like,
chance.
Yeah, you just can't be a sore loser about it.
And because it's by chance, that's why it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
agree.
it's
I agree
weighted.
with that. I can see that.
Wait, what did you say, Marina?
I said, but it's weighted.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're working towards
We're gonna
fixing
get
the
a new
wheel.
wheel.
And only Billy knows how to work it.
The wheel be happening.
No one knows how to work it.
It needs
We
a new
kinda
bearing.
hit it every once in a while and it changes. It's like a art.
An electronic wheel.
I think he knows the wheel.
Well, we could get a digital wheel.
That's what I'm saying. Like a digital.
That sucks.
Fuck a digital.
Everyone hates that.
Ask AI what the
No,
topics should be.
literally ask chat what the whammy should
The
be.
wheel is like it's like a roulette
Wait.
wheel. Like it's on
Wait,
the-
send it to him. Send it to him. Sorry,
You don't
girl.
look sleepy anymore.
What if it's like a roulette wheel where it's on, you spin it, but it's like, you know.
I like that, but that just sucks because that's where we put the pieces. Maybe the wheel is removable. We take it away. I don't know. I like the wheel on the wall.
That's true. The wheel on the wall is better. It's never mind. It's better. The wheel on the wall.
Does anybody else have any itching, burning comments or questions about this topic?
About topics?
I'm trying to finish that statement.
How long has that wheel been a part of the show? Since season 1?
That wheel specifically, or any wheel?
Any wheel. Wheels on the wall.
Since seasons on the wall or incorporated. in the show?
Wheels have been since
Wheels
season 1.
have been involved
Season
since
0.
since season 0.
I've had
It was
Bono.
little tiny wheels.
I've had this wheel since 2016.
He bought this wheel when he bought the Glassman.
Nope, it's from before the Glassman. It's not from before the Glassman. The Cold Cookie Company. We used to take this wheel at all activations
So
with ice cream
Clara
business.
actually weighted it.
Okay, wait. So this wheel that we're using in season 5, you've had since 2016, right?
Yes.
Okay, that wheel's fucking a new wheel. No wonder it's always weighted.
Hey, that's an
but
expensive wheel.
I love the wheel and it's iconic. You keep it, and I'm mostly joking. Yeah.
So before we get out of here, the wheel is an American-made wheel from New Jersey. It's made of wood. It has real bearings in it. If you try to go on Amazon and order a wheel, you're buying the worst wheel.
They're shit. It's true.
Hit up
Anyway.
the guy for the wheel again.
And we put it on a wall, and we built the wall. So the wall's like not straight.
I'm fine with the wheel just standing.
Okay, let's get out of here, Kurt.
Wait, that's it? That's not the last topic.
That's literally not the last topic.
That's my last topic. Well, all the other ones are incredibly they're more so comments than I'm past all.
Wait, can I ask?
There's only one thing that I would maybe that I would consider asking, or not even asking, bringing up to you guys during this. You guys want to hear this idea that Billy and I came up with maybe in the past week?
I do.
Maybe it was way sooner than that. You have no idea.
Sure.
What do you guys think about?
I love it.
Well, okay, so we've talked about the interviews. We've talked about building story around all of the competitors in the show. We talked about getting people more on the microphones. There's a variety of ways we do it between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Tuesday. But what if on, I don't know, Thursday or Saturday or other day of the week, we had a podcast that was like a post-show podcast where it was all the people who were your regular guests on the show, but less so the judges, or maybe equally as so the judges, but way more heavy on the competitors, where you could bring these people in and maybe you have 10 minutes, maybe you're there for the whole episode. Who knows, because this idea was only come up with in the past 24 hours. Maybe it was a week. I
think that's a great idea, and I was gonna say something about your guys' Twitch account, that after 1 week, your video goes away on Twitch before you
really,
have
the VODs get deleted?
enough. Yeah, all the VODs get deleted each week, so your account always looks like it has nothing.
Nothing on it.
Yeah.
Which is a bad look. So if you do one twice a week, then you could have some on there.
I think that could also be a good opportunity to do some of that promo and stuff too. That like we were talking about of like the before the intros or whatever.
That sucks. Bono, recognized. Billy.
Freaking Billy.
Okay, yeah, we all saw that. All right, union recognized. Anyways, this is kind of random, but I just want to throw it out there. That front glass window that all the people in the smoke shop be watching the show through, can we find like a tent?
We've tried. Okay, we
Too
literally
expensive.
tried. It like, and it also like doesn't exist. That like.
Okay, so we need to hit up Diddy Clips and find out
That's
what
like
they're
$1
cutting.
bazillion to cover that whole thing.
Yeah, we're gonna need like $1 billion.
If-
But I think
if
it's
Diddy-
important that we get the blueprint. Just have the blueprint. Think big. Don't act.
A good option for this is Mountain Glass used to, rest in peace. Mountain Glass used to sell disposable ditties that you can get on request, but that's not a company anymore. So.
What about
You
like?
have to look through the glasses.
Oh, that would no.
The spot in the back is literally a tent shop. We asked them if we could get like anti-glare or anything.
You can get tints
Okay.
that cut out orange light, but you still get the solar flare entering your eyeballs.
And you know the last thing I'm gonna say. I think if you have quick connects, you should be able to bring your torch. That way,
Nope.
the glass blowers can have the most
But there's a good
experience.
chance. There's a good chance that you guys end up on nationals at some point too. Don't worry. Oh yeah, on the wheel.
As a wham.
As a wham. National, Bobcat, Bravo. Who knows?
No. Bravo's not a whammy.
Say.
Bravo's one of the
you don't
nicest
know how to use the
nicest
Bravo.
torches in the game.
Whoa.
Me and Trippy agree. Bravo, that shit cranks.
Not a whammy. All right. You guys, thank you guys. Hey.
Hey,
Is that on
YouTube.
me?
Hey.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks
Thank
for
everyone
watching,
here
y'all.
for coming out. This
Yup.
was the first ever Last Man Standing Town Hall. There's probably going to be way more of these. Maybe there aren't any more of these. So tune in for the next one or don't. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, comment, fucking follow us on Instagram. Have a good day. Make good choices. Have a good night.
Let's go!
And follow
Last Man Standing
Breezy
for
Breeze
life.
on Spotify.
100 years of glass.